Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this game of Icewind Dale. We are the Digital Dragons. We are currently -1 because Tahko is currently travelling. He is trying to connect to us via hotel Wi-Fi, but is having a few issues at the moment. So hopefully we'll get Moodkiller in once Tahko is available. But in the meantime, I am joined here by Zagrax.
Hey, me first. I am Zach, or Warbird in chat, playing the old Zagrax.
Vulwin.
Hi, I'm Ethan, or Chaos Gemini in chat, and playing the Furball Granger, Vulwin Agaragar.
Irilyssa.
Hi, I'm Rard, aka Evil by Moonlight in chat, and I will be playing the Dragonborn Cleric, Irilyssa.
And Elora.
Hi, I'm Trips, or Trips Starlike in the chat. I'm playing Elora.
And I myself am Mordred, and I am the DM, making sure that things keep on dying. I mean, keep on going and moving and progressing without death, maybe. So, who wants to give us a recap of what happened last time?
I've got you. And speaking of dying, you did a terrible job at having things die, because as far as I know, that stuff is all reanimated. So, to catch chat up, the group traveled from, Tourmaline, on up towards the Lonely Wood. And there was a bunch of quiet forest, and we were sacked by a bunch of reanimated creatures of the forest. We made a mad dash, fighting our way to the Lonely Wood, or at least where we thought the Lonely Wood would be. We were attacked by a giant elk or moose.
Moose.
It was paler than the snow. Yeah.
Both, actually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, first was a wolf.
Yeah. We ended up defeating it, and then it melted back into the snow. That's what a moose does. Take our word for it. But we did make it to the Lonely Wood, and we were lifted up and over this makeshift barricade. And Vulwin got to meet an old friend, somebody from the Rust Wolves, Orlaban. And the team got a little bit of information about what's been going on. These reanimated dead have been here for far longer than we thought, and their attacking of the stronghold has been increasing over the last several weeks to a couple times during the week. So things are getting quite dire. We got a chance to talk with the speaker, and they believe that there is possibly some kind of curse that's causing this. And looks like we're going to look into that. Nimsy made us cookies. It was great. Best part about it.
Definitely, those cookies are definitely something to write home about and hopefully steal the recipe for.
Yeah. Was there anything I left out? Otherwise, I think that's where we left off.
I think you're good. And before we get started properly, we do have a bunch of shout-outs, which I want to get done first of all. So, Warbird coming in with a 4-month resubscription. Evil by Moonlight coming in with a 4-month resubscription. 4 months. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. Casimir coming in with a 4-month resubscription. Chaos Gemini coming in with a 4-month resubscription. Let's go! Trip Starlake coming in with a new gifted sub to... And I feel like that's been lost behind the dog spam.
Pew I die.
Pew Pew I Die. So Pew Pew I Die, congratulations on the gifted sub. Courtesy of Trips, then we've got Lady Aniko gifted a sub by Casimir. Thank you very much for that, Casimir. Welcome to the Digital Kobolds, Lady Anoko. Then Evil by Moonlight gifted a sub to Jahan. Jahan, congratulations, and also welcome to the Digital Kobolds. Then finally, we have Onaya joining us as a new follower. Hello! And Roaming Cricket also coming in with a 3-month resubscription. Thank you very much for that, Roaming Cricket. Ready for another great night? Well, hopefully.
Right.
Okay, so you did indeed leave things off in the town of Lonely Wood, so let's just shift ourselves back over there. It is probably going on to being about 2 o'clock in the afternoon at this point. You left the town of Tourmaline about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's about a 2-hour journey, and then you spent an hour, maybe 2 hours fighting through and then speaking to Nimsy. So the afternoon is yours. What would you like to do?
I mean, really, my only goal is to try to get as much information as we could about what Vulwin's friends were trying to find. before we go out and try to find the source of the problem ourselves.
Go out. I'm staying here. This is comfy.
Yeah, it's comfy though. I don't really want to leave.
Yeah. Orlaban visited us again, actually, at Nimsy's. So I think he said to meet him later at a tavern. So maybe there is some more information we can glean. Maybe not.
Okay.
So what do you want to do in the interim? You're just going to hang around, lick your wounds? Are you going to go to the tavern now? Go exploring?
Definitely going to rest up. Something that I can probably regain some hit dice, because that whole gauntlet has put Vulwin in a bad way. So going to do that, rest for a little bit, and then head to the tavern just a little later to try to meet up, and maybe there's a few more things that can be talked about.
Because, yeah, you can for sure take a short rest now if you want to gain the benefits of that.
Oh,
or
sure.
a long rest if you want to bed down for a bit.
We could just go to sleep, honestly.
Yep.
Hey.
Yeah, but then do we want to go out at night?
Yeah, not
who knows
really.
when the undead come knocking anyways, so.
True.
Yes.
I mean,
the
you
rest
could
of what you got.
effectively take an extended rest here until the next morning, go into the tavern at some point in the interim. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's what
That's
we,
true. That'll work
at
then.
least on my side, I think that's what we might end up doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Sounds good to me.
didn't end up getting beat up too bad, and by too bad I mean like at all. But
Yeah.
still,
Even though you were the
Getting-
one sieged by the moose.
yeah. He turned around and whopped Tahko a few times. But yeah, no. Just gladiatorial combat with an angry moose.
Okay, so you're able to find out that the Lucky Liar is the tavern in town. It's a pretty basic affair. The main inn/tavern closed down. Is what's marked there as ramshackle, which at the moment is basically just an empty building, which used to be the inn. And in the interim, any guests that Lonelywood has had have been staying at the speaker's house. So is there anything any of you want to do in particular before you head off to the Lucky Liar later on this evening?
Honestly, no. I think Elora probably would have taken out, she has a little book, I think, maybe, and taken some notes on the things Nimsy was saying, but otherwise, no.
Okay.
Question, as a local, is there anything in particular that I would think would be interesting to check out?
No.
Because right now my thoughts are people is what I want to, meet and talk
Right.
with. And I think I already know the main ones to do so.
Yeah, I mean, the main people that you knew here were the the Rust Wolves. In terms of sites, that would mostly be going out onto the lake, which might not be the best idea, and going into the woods, which might not be the best idea.
Things that would have been fun in another time, but
Yeah.
not now. Yeah, it sounds good. Nimsy and talking to the remaining Rust Wolves here.
Because you do know that most of the people of Lonelywood very much keep themselves to themselves. As much as a lot of people around Icewind Dale are very individualistic and proud of that fact, Lonelywood takes that to a whole other level. They value their privacy.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wow.
you spend a few hours hanging around in Nimsy's. Another plate of cookies gets brought out at some point, and the jug of milk also gets refilled. And eventually you judge that enough time has passed where you could consider it evening, although it doesn't seem to be that much darker outside. And you make your way over to the Lucky Liar.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's liar, someone.
Liar as in somebody telling a mistruth.
In my head,
Yep.
it was the instrument.
Yeah. No, it's definitely this one.
So, it's relatively busy, actually. Despite the fact that it's a fairly small place, it does seem to be packed with various people from Lonelywood, taking whatever opportunity they can to take their mind off of the just oppression that's surrounding their town. You've got a mixture of fishermen coming in off of the ice, augers over their shoulder, a couple of catches or a couple of fish like on a string. You've got a couple of the guards coming in, large two-headed axes, as they would be using as lumberjacks. Obviously they can't go out to the woods. A couple of carpenters and things, with their work clothes grimy and dusty from working on reinforcing the barricades and getting the buildings maintenance, that type of thing. There is a human lady standing behind the bar. She's got jet black hair, and she's just standing there, like using a rag to clean one of the mugs. And there's a set of mugs just on a line basically above the bar. And Vulwin, you know that if you are considered a regular in this place, one of those mugs is basically yours. So
good.
everyone always drinks from the same one.
Wonderful. Yeah, we should be good here. Just go up and get some drinks or something.
Okay.
This isn't the most busy I've seen it, but it's pretty busy.
And as you make your way in over to the bar, the raven-haired lady looks up at you. So, wait a minute, you're new folk, aren't you? You don't get many of them around here. Where are you coming from?
Well, some of them are new.
Yeah, I recognise you. Dolwyn or Paul or something, wasn't it?
Vulwin.
Vulwin.
And he kind of like looks up. Does she keep that in the same spot, the exact same spot that the drink would be hung in?
Yep.
Or the cup? Okay, good. Yeah, and he'll just point. That one.
Ah, Vulwin, right. Not
Yeah.
very good with the faces, but with the mugs, absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you normally have ordered here?
Honestly, probably something heavy. Like, I don't know that it was his original choice, but it stuck. I assume others might have chose it for him.
So heavy as in strong, or heavy as in like a
Heavy as in
dark
strong.
beer? Okay. Trying to think how that would work with a mug. You know what? Screw it. She pulls down the mug, reaches under the bar, seems to be rattling with a couple of bottles, pulls out one bottle, places it on the bar, grabs another one, places it on the bar, and then just free pours them both into your mug.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Dandelion cordial with whiskey, if I remember right.
That's what it is.
That's intense, Paul.
Yeah. But once you get a usual drink, you can't really change it.
And she stops pouring one of them, and you realise the one that's still pouring is the whiskey.
I think now more than ever, this will do.
She stops pouring. Dandelion cordial and whiskey, and what about your friends?
Can I have just whiskey?
Yeah,
I don't need the cordial. Thank you.
of course you can. Leaves more space in the mug for the whiskey, although we're still going to have to be limiting it a little bit. As you can probably guess, supplies are a bit short. Unless you
That's fair.
happen to have come in with a shipment.
No.
Only brought
Unfortunately
ourselves.
not.
That's too bad.
But hopefully we can solve this issue and shipments can start again.
Well, that would be lovely. So you adventuring folk then? Is that how you managed to punch your way through?
Yeah, we're the Dawnbringers.
Dawnbringers. I could definitely do with a bit of light around here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And she takes the two bottles, places them back under the bar, and then again you hear the rattle of various drinks containers, and eventually a glass is placed on top of the bar, and then moments after that, a little cask is also brought up. She unstoppers the cask and starts pouring in whiskey from the cask into a glass
nice.
until it's about half full, and then pushes that over to you.
Cool.
Irilyssa, Zagrax, you want anything? By trade.
I'll have one of what Elora's having.
Another
I'll
whiskey.
try what you're having.
Dandelion.
Then I'll
cordial.
try. Yes.
All right. And she starts fixing the drinks as ordered. And I'm going to need to look up how much these things are, aren't I? Not that it matters massively. Where is my list? There it is. That'll be 2 silver for you, Vulwin, 3 silver for the rest of you each.
Okay.
Regular
Okay,
discount,
well.
I'm sure you understand. We treat our own properly here.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. And if we make it through all this, I'm sure this will come in handy. And he'll reach into a coin purse that's tucked where his chest is, 'cause it's where he had it hidden from the other time, and he'll take out discreetly two things of gold and kind of like slide them across, like palming them to her.
Oh. She rattles around for a minute and then gets a bit of change, throws it on the table.
No, I don't need the change.
Oh. Pleasure serving you, Vulwin. Good to have you back, by
It's
the
not
way.
going to do me any good, so.
Yeah, it's too bad about the other Rust Wolves clearing out. We've had the other two. I know that Orlaband's been up on the wall and what's her name's been helping me here, actually.
Yeah.
That's me
Yarraga.
saying what's her name, not her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jarard.
I need the list of names in front of me. Yeah, Yoranga. Yeah, Yoranga's been helping around the bar when she's off duty. Wanted to learn a bit about the trade, she said.
Make a little extra coin.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Did you overhear anything about the rest of them? Maybe just some rumors. Maybe overhearing any conversation. Maybe they came to the bar before they left.
Sorry, I'm just going to respond to one thing. There's not much more to show of the map. That's it.
Oh, it's all the Lonelywood. That's all there is.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a tiny bit below, which is the road to the Eastway, then Ramshackle, which is right at the bottom. But that's it. Like you're seeing what you need to.
It's a baby town.
It is a small one.
Yep.
Yeah. What the others been talking about? Well, why do I keep losing my notes? Vanamir and Toril took off on one of their wild goose treasure chases. I'm sure it was really just an excuse to clear out of town while they could. And your man, Jolamar, always a good sword, always a good client here. He took off after the Red Beast or something like that.
Yeah, that's
No,
about
wait,
what I
no,
heard.
that was his old one. He was always obsessed about that. No, he went after the White Moose, the terror of this town recently.
Yeah. Well, with any luck, he still might find it out there. Or something like it.
Well, unfortunately the attacks haven't stopped, and if that thing is behind it, well, we can only hope, can't we?
Yeah. Well, we're not here to hope. We're here to do something about it.
And that's the right attitude. A lot of the folk here are just weary. It's been a long siege. It's maybe not official, maybe not armies sitting outside of the walls, but it bloody well feels like it. Locked in.
Might as well have been an army. They just kept coming, no matter how many you knocked down.
You don't need to tell us. I've stood on those barricades myself more than once. But I'm glad that someone made it through. Maybe that's hope for increased traction with the rest of the 10 towns. Is there any sign that more are coming to help us, or are you the ones who got through?
we were actually sent here by Duvesa, the head speaker, 10 pounds, so I think we're the only ones.
About damn time. I know Nimsy's too
Right.
proud for call for help, but I don't mind telling you we need it.
Ex-head speaker.
Oh, you're right. She's not the head speaker anymore. Sorry about that. It's only been a couple days.
Yes, Max Aldanar is now head speaker.
Axel Dan.
Yeah, there was a vote.
Well, that's a turn for the books. I think that'll probably be quite a popular choice here. Lonelywood's always liked him. Kind of fancied him
Yes.
as a kindred spirit. Yeah.
Well, his first action is to try and slay the beast that's in your leg.
That's a pretty strong opener, though. How?
Yes, he brought a warship from the south. A flying ship.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I was going to say, how on earth did they bring a ship across the spine of the world mountains? I mean, you probably go overland from the sea, but even that. I've seen some things in my time, but crawling ships ain't one of them. Still a flying ship. Huh. Impressive.
Right.
Yeah, he's got some pull.
Mm-hmm.
And some lift too, I hope. And she gives you a very, sly smile.
Did, that aside, Vadimir and, Tarl, did you see, did you hear any mention of where they might have taken off? Out of here, out of the Lonelywood. I doubt they just crawled out the front entrance.
I did, as
Any
it
idea
happens.
which way they were headed?
I mean, they were on their way over to the Sea of Moving Ice. Had some kind of notion that the treasure that was marked on Toral's map was some old treasure galleon that met some ill winds off the coast and was shattered ashore somewhere. Can't say exactly where, but they went around the top of Medwalden and then basically due west, and they said they would start exploring as soon as they hit the coast, going further west from there.
What an
Wow.
absolute fool's errand. That's a lot of coast.
You tell me, but you know that Toral's been after that treasure for a while, and as soon as they had word that it might be something like a galleon, gave them somewhere to start looking at least.
Yeah, well, he was always one for wanting to find lost knowledge. If he could find it there, he'd... wouldn't need to convince Vadimir much.
I don't think it was so much lost knowledge. Vanimir was ranting about some kind of huge treasure, a hoard.
As he's wont to do. Do you say what kind?
Gold.
This treasure.
Treasure. I don't know. Didn't pay that much attention. We've lost enough people to wild adventures and mad wanderings through the years. I'm just glad when we see some of them coming back. And with that, she kind of pours herself a shot of whiskey and raises a salute and then just necks it.
I'll take a big drink too. But, thanks. I think we'll, find a seat unless anybody else has any other questions.
Yeah, I'm afraid I can't tell you much more. Jorlamar didn't really say much before he left, just that he was going after the White Moose. Didn't give any directions or anything. You know how he was. Gruff and
Yeah.
Right.
mean-tempered.
That's
It
what
doesn't
the
want to
others
be
said.
followed. Yeah. Well, thanks.
Of course. And with that, she notices someone else has been trying to flag her down for a couple of minutes now. And with a sigh, she heads over to the other side of the bar and starts serving them.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Vulwin noticed, but didn't care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you occasionally, like, as he was talking, you just see him kind of, like, look over to the side and then just kind of look back.
Yeah, those of you with
There's the
decent
dude
perception,
writing
you notice this guy like leaning over the bar, like waving, pretty much.
We're just
Feeling
ignoring.
Vulwin like completely made full bore eye contact with him for an extended second or two, and then just looked back and kept talking.
Yeah, he was probably still talking at the same time.
Yep. Oh.
Well, if you knew that person who went after the White Moose, do you think you could track him, Vulwin? They're our best bet.
Well, like I said, I'd be incredibly lucky to be able to try to find him. He's the one I learned all the tricks of the trade from myself.
I mean, that does mean you're the most qualified to find him.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, not even that's very much.
It's also
So,
the most qualified
a
to
lot of
tell
luck.
us how likely it is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he was covering all of his own tracks.
Well, if we don't do that, what other plan could we have? Try to get rid of these undead animals.
Wandering in the Lonely Wood.
We also need to try and get a hold of Swift Runner.
Right.
Hopefully she's alright.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we...
I don't think we should need to worry about her.
Tahko talked to her a few days ago and she was okay, I think.
She
At
said
least a
that,
few days ago, okay.
didn't she say that things were going poorly?
I
But
mean,
it was
she
hard.
was alive.
I suppose that's a good... Yes, okay. I concede. I suppose
I
around
think-
here, alive is better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah, she's probably our best bet, as she's not want to enter the walls. And if anybody knows anything about the stuff that goes outside the walls that we can have contact with, it's her.
Right.
Perhaps she's run into your mentor, Vulwin.
With any luck.
Yeah, there's a possibility. Anybody who's out there would probably know more. I mean, look how much we learned just from coming through the forest.
Yeah. Learn to not go through the forest.
Yeah. Maybe there's somebody we could talk to or follow up on about the whole druid thing too.
Oh,
The ice
right.
druids.
Mhm.
If there is truly a curse over the Lonely Wood, somebody has to know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe we could speak a little bit more with Orlabat on that. Maybe as a. I know he didn't want to say much at the gates,
Mhm.
or even at Dempsey's.
Oh, right. We
Yeah.
should go talk to them then. At
Yeah.
this point, I'll even take folklore for
Yeah.
information.
Unfortunately, the two that would have known the most about all of this would have been Darl and Vadomir. And they're gone. Fools.
What a time to go searching for some treasure.
May they
Wow.
come back in one piece.
Yeah, well. Wouldn't generally know Vadomir to go out and try to get something, some kind of treasure, unless it had some kind of supernatural or occultic appeal.
Like, something with magic that could help? Or just because they wanted it?
Nah, you would have gone after it just based on stories.
Oh,
I mean, bit of a collector,
I see.
with both the real or the fake.
Maybe that's where we'll find this Brotherhood of Arcane. Was it?
The Arcane
Wizards?
Brotherhood?
Yes.
Right. Maybe. I know that there's one in that prison up north, but
So that's quite far.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'd rather hitch a ride on the airship than walk there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what going to wizard prison would help us.
Not
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
That
I
would-
would go there right now.
Yeah. But again, maybe if there is some kind of curse at the Lonely Wood, I would think that it would be more central to here. Something that we could find. I don't know.
The fact
really
that
know much about
Tourmaline
curse.
hasn't seen any of these is some sort of sign of tell, right? They sit on the south side of the Lonely Wood, and yet they're, at least as far as we could tell, not seeing sign of undead.
No, I mean, yeah, my parents didn't even seem to know exactly why they weren't getting shipment. So, of meat. Just that they weren't.
'Cause by
Suddenly
all accounts,
The door of the tavern swings open, and a leather-armoured man with a cloak drawn heavily and closely around his shoulders comes rushing into the room, an axe held in one hand. Something's coming! Something's coming! Get up to the... He kind of pauses for a second as he frowns. The lake! Something's coming across the lake! We're going to need all hands for this one. And with that, he turns and storms back out again, leaving the doors open. And all
that's-
around, people are starting to rise from their tables, chairs being knocked over as there's just a rush for the exit.
well,
Axel dead our ship? Question mark.
one can hope.
Zagrax was just down whatever's left of his drink, which probably wasn't a whole lot at that point, and then get up and head out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take another small sip and I'll set it down because there's urgency. So
Okay, so you
Oh,
put down
no.
your drinks and you head outside, following the people as they're rushing through the town. And again, it's kind of weird. Like, a lot of people are looking out over to the barricades, but the throng of people are moving in the opposite direction towards the lake, which is in the opposite direction to the barricades. And as you're moving, you do see that the sky seems to be somewhat brighter than it has been for quite some time, and there is a definite blue tinge to it.
Oh, I don't like that. I
Uh-oh.
don't like that at all.
We should get people not outside.
The problem is it's either this or you go and you fight the beasts outside the wall. So
And as you rush to the coast and look out, a large group of people are gathered around you, all of them silent, as they're looking at just these two beams of light that seems to be shining out like a lighthouse coming steadily across the lake. You can't really see what the figure is, but you suspect that you know. You've
please
seen
don't be the
these
lighthouse
entities
demon.
before.
Please don't be like the house demon.
And as they do draw closer to the town, still 400 or 500 feet away, you do see these jets of intense spotlight energy, blue, sweeping across the town, fixating upon the center as they move steadily towards it.
What?
Is it low-ish to the ground, or is it higher up, or is it too far out that we really can't tell?
Lowish to the ground. It's hard to say. The only one that can really see, I would say, at this distance would be Irilyssa, because it is nighttime now. Night has fallen, and you can't see what's projecting the light, but it does look like you would probably be human height.
Yeah.
But it is difficult to make out because of the perspective and the fact that you're just looking at these beams of blue energy, which just are kind of engulfing that whole area, and you do get this involuntary chill that runs down your spine as it happens.
Okay.
oh, spooky.
People should go inside.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
She just says that like maybe someone will hear her.
We're not going inside. If something's coming after our town, we'll stand here and we'll fight the damn thing. We've
Well,
taken
that's
on
not-
worse
that
than this.
thing-
It's just a couple of lights.
No. That thing is going to destroy you. We've met it before, and we had to just run for our lives.
And as you say that, you feel a slight tremor under your feet. Something
Yep.
shifting out there.
Yep. No.
No. Yeah. We need to take cover. If we do need to fight this, then we can, but not out here. We're putting ourselves out in the open. This thing seeks.
Make me a persuasion check, Vulwin, with advantage, because you're being assisted with the others.
Sure. Let's see. Where is persuasion? There's persuasion. Advantage.
Oh.
Like normal? Not gonna
Nice.
listen to.
Yeah, not a lot of people seem to be paying much attention. Like one or two nearest you, perhaps, maybe kind of looking back towards the town. But as they do, one of the bigger lads basically moves out in front, big old two-handed axe, grasps in his hands. He just kind of stands right at the edge where the ice basically meets the coast. He just stands there, axe in both hands, just staring out. And his presence seems to be stiffening the resolve of those around to stay.
And he's going to turn to Vulwin's going to turn to the rest of the group. They're going to stay. They're going to fight. They're going to face this head on. We've only ever seen this, once, maybe twice, barely at most. Which of you seen the most?
I saw it go after you all. From behind. I don't. But I know I saw it.
Well, I mean, if any of you have any kind of details about anything, best to tell them now. At least they won't be surprised by it. But everything past that, I don't know what the hell's coming out of that lake.
Nope.
We don't even know what it can do.
No.
Yeah.
We spent more of our time trying to make sure we weren't seen by it than to try and figure out what the heck it was.
The tremble underfoot starts to get more frequent. A couple of the little pebbles at the shore start to roll in, banging against the ice of the coastline.
Is the weather getting worse?
No, the weather is still completely clear.
By now, you would think that... Because every time these things showed up, right, the weather started to turn for the worst. But it hasn't yet.
Well, then it's probably just too far away.
Vulwin, in fact, all of you, give me a perception check, if you would be so kind.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, that's a good
Oh my gosh, I
Okay.
might actually see something.
Zagrax!
Oh my, this
Oh
is
crap!
this is new.
Zagrax has the best eyesight right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zagrax, in fact, I should probably roll for Tahko as well.
All right.
Give me a second.
I mean, even without my boost and stuff, I'd still have the best. Even at my -3 modifier as it was beforehand, I'd still have the
For Tahko, so no. All of you guys are fixated on the two beams of light coming across the lake. But Zagrax, you're looking around a little bit more. The rumble underfoot has unnerved you. And as you look over to the north of the town, you see the top of one of the trees, probably some 200-300 feet out. It is barely visible. You mostly see it because there was this white cloud of snow on top of the trees, which suddenly just puffs and disappears. Then a moment later, another one, a couple of feet closer to the lake, puffs and disappears, as if the trees are being knocked down.
Can anybody else seeing the trees to the north, like, falling?
What? No.
No.
And as Zagrax says that, you all look
Zagrax
over,
moved.
caught up by his call, and you notice it. The puff of the snow as another area disappears. Again, this line moving closer and closer to the edge of the lake, and now you can hear the crackle and the rumble of trees being pushed aside as something big is coming through, and the rumble underfoot is getting more and more heavy, and you can feel the thud of footsteps.
I don't
What is
like
this,
that.
Vulwin?
What did you say?
I said, what is this, Vulwin?
I presume I don't know.
You know.
I have no idea what this is. It's something
Oh.
big, though.
Oh yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
Are
this is
the-
prob- both sides.
Are any of the townspeople noticing the
Yes,
this
and
stuff
there
to
are,
the north? Okay.
as you basically have drawn your party's vision to the north, it's drawn the gaze and the sight of others around you, and they're all kind of going, what's going on over there? What's happening with the trees? There's something big coming through there. And as
Oh no.
these rumbles of the townsfolk around you, you start to feel a couple of them getting a little bit unsteady. Even the guy right by the coast kind of takes a step back, not sure whether he should be focusing on the lights or on the disturbance.
Yeah. The lights, if they get close, there were things that fell down from the sky. I don't know much more than that. Shards of ice or something. So keep an eye out for that, but whatever this might be more pressing right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
say,
how
which
far...
one? Yeah.
Is it really still far away? Like, the lights on the ice?
Trying to find something a bit more suitable than peaceful sound effect.
Yeah, no, peaceful sound effects great. Makes it
Peaceful's
great.
fine. Peaceful's fine.
Peaceful's fine, yeah.
hmm Don't need none of this foreboding nonsense.
No.
How's this?
I don't like this.
That's too combaty.
We've come under assault by 3 sides, man. Can't go
Well,
to the south or east because
I'm just saying, cross your fingers right now because nothing's been said about that yet. Don't jinx us, Zagrax.
your.
Let's do that one.
Don't jinx us.
Big thing that could knock. Yeah.
And as the beams of light coming close to you, you feel the wind starting to pick up, swirling a couple of tufts of snow from around you. A faint drizzle of snow starts to fall from the sky, covering everything in a light coating of snow as these things get closer and closer. But as you're watching, and as the snow around you starts to intensify, and why is this not playing? Come on.
The music's playing.
It's
Oh,
playing.
not for me.
No. It's the spooky,
It's the
mysterious
spooky
out on the
music.
snow song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
It's the music that makes you feel dread.
Yep.
Good. That's what I really wanted.
Yay!
Not that we needed more of it.
You're saying we don't need more dread?
No.
No more dread.
No. More
But
cozy.
he's our GM. We need him.
Ba-dum.
Okay, this is just not working for me anymore. Fantastic. Why? Why would you do this to me? It's definitely playing for you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Do you have it like muted from Windows or something?
Oh, I think that the online player had crashed.
Ah,
Ooh.
that'll do.
And there goes all the tension we built up.
Also, Matrio, we never went to Bremen, so it's not our fault.
It's not our fault.
There
Not
it
our
is.
fault.
Yeah. We didn't even
Can't
know
be.
about Bremen.
We had no idea what was going on in Bremen.
So not so much the stormy sounds, but definitely the windy sounds. In fact, I'll see if I can turn off the thunder. I don't want thunder. Thunder can turn off. Shush. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so the lights are moving closer and closer to you. They're probably 150 feet away or so now. Irilyssa, you can see these pretty clearly. For the rest of you, they're still too far off. You just see the light and the constant spotlight beam moving over the town, then kind of fixing on one point and then starting to sweep again as they fixate on something else. Irilyssa, you notice now there are 2 definite humanoid figures slowly, seemingly gliding across the surface of the snow. Although as you look at it, and as the gleam of the blue light highlights it, they're not gliding. Any water that was beneath them is freezing at their touch as they are striding across it.
I don't like that at all.
Share my eyesight with Vulwin, Zagrax, and Tahko.
Okay. So Vulwin, Zagrax, and Tahko.
You can see.
I can see 60 feet.
Fine, I'll not share with Tahko
No, I'm
since he's
joking.
not here. I'll give it to Elora.
Yay!
Yeah.
So
I
you
never
can
Goes
get
off
it.
calling for his sister.
you can all see this, and as your eyesight is suddenly enhanced, there's a final resounding crash as another tree slams onto the ground to the north of the town, probably about 150 or 100 feet beyond the outer barricades, which are not that far away from where you are now. And through the gap that's just been made is a giant, standing probably some 15-20 feet tall, almost as tall as many of the trees around him. He's just shoved the tree aside. And as you look, you notice that he looks very lean. Like there isn't much to him. And it's at that point that you notice bones. This is not a giant. This is a skeleton giant.
Oh.
And this creature is running through the gap made in the woods, going straight into the lake. He raises his giant battle axe, crashes it down into the ice, shredding it immediately, and then he disappears into the water as the ice parts before him, going up to his legs, his hips, his torso, and eventually just his head, and then that too disappears beneath the waves.
What is going on?
Y'all saw that, right? I didn't.
Yeah.
What?
That interesting.
Well, I guess
are
we only
we
have one thing.
Is this like a show that's going on here, Vulwin?
What do you mean a show?
I don't know. What did we just see?
You have eyes. You saw it. That's what it was. A big skeleton crashing into the ice. What the hell do you want me to say it is?
I don't know. It could be like a ceremony or something. I don't know.
I don't know of any ceremony that's like this.
I don't think anybody does.
I have no idea. I've never seen that.
At this point, the two spotlights, the source, is probably within about 100 feet of you. And you can just about make out the tips of the giant's helmet bobbing above the water as he continues to move. And you notice now that he's definitely moving in an interception course to get to where the two lights are coming from.
Well, we either have one place to worry about, or we've got multiple things to worry about coming from the same spot. But now we've only got one direction to pay attention to.
And Zagrax would go and walk up to where that one guy was standing and just like sit there and brace for shit to go down.
Yeah, there's one place to worry about. This place here in our lives.
Right.
And we'll give them if we need to. We're here to defend Lonelywood, aren't we? And at that, there's a bit of a rumble from around the town, although definitely more muted than it had been. And as you watch, there's a sudden whoosh of water, probably some 75 feet out now, as something big breaks through the thin surface of ice, grabs up, and then yanks down. And as he does, the two blots of blue light disappear, going underneath the waves. And now you can see this luminous blue light coming from somewhere beneath the water, submerged now.
Well,
Okay,
clearly
I'm
not
just
how eyes then.
confused.
What?
And the water around where this just happened starts to thrash wildly as there is some kind of struggle going on underneath. You watch, stunned, for maybe 30 seconds, and one of the lights fades. The thrashing continues, the water boiling at this point almost, and then slowly the second light also fades.
Okay. Did that giant fight those lights?
Yeah, that's what I saw. That's all I can think.
Okay.
It's whatever those lights were. Whatever's happening here don't like each other very much.
Is this place known for giants to live here? The Lonelywood? Didn't think
Not
so.
that you've heard.
Anybody can live here,
No, I know, but
but I
It
don't know
wasn't
if I'd call it
living
giants.
either.
Skeleton.
I know he's not.
Living.
he wasn't living, but he lived at some point.
Yeah.
We all
but
saw a skeletal giant go and beat up the lighthouse demons, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
And as the two lights fade, the wind around you starts to settle. The snowfall had just started, seems to recede, and the night around you is clear and quiet once again. The townsfolk even not seeming to make much noise as they just look on. The only sound you can really hear is the idle lap of the waves coming in now and breaking against the shore coated in ice.
This has been
Whatever.
a fucking day.
That is very.
Yeah. Whatever's here doesn't want interference.
I don't
Exactly.
know.
Someone said that.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's not.
But did the giant just protect Lonelywood? Or was it just fighting because it doesn't like it?
Well, all I know is that if we want to find out, he left a nice old trail through the trees to get there.
Yeah.
True.
You know,
That's-
if a hunter stalks its prey, it's likely to take out other predators that would want that same prey. Maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know.
So
Just
is it over?
speculating.
What the hell just happened?
I have no idea, but has anybody been on the wall? Do we know if there's anything else coming?
Ah, shit, that's a good... Is anyone on the wall? Yeah, what happened? Tell you later. Okay.
Okay. Okay, good.
Good. That's crazy.
Well, at this
I-
point, anybody's guess is as good as ours, because that makes absolutely no sense.
Every day I live, I see something crazier than.
And I thought it would have been talked by meeting a fucking dragon, but here we are, and just skeleton giants.
Is that what that Zagrax just like starts wandering back to the tavern, mumbling to himself?
Okay.
No, I think the ancient white dragon is still cooler than this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is even more unexpected, though.
An undead skeleton. Certainly giant.
Then-
A giant skeleton.
Yeah. Well, you
I don't know. I don't
didn't
know.
wait, but Vulwin, didn't you like get sucked into the giant dead skeleton ice thing in that cave with the
You mean the water?
yeah. It was really hard to tell what was going on at the time.
Yeah, I stepped down into it, but I didn't see any giants, skeletal giants.
Oh,
And not until afterwards when we all looked at the ice ourselves.
no, you didn't know that. Okay.
No. No.
I thought maybe they communed with you.
No. I told you I had one of my earliest memories.
No, I know, but
Was it about whatever the hell that was?
okay.
But yeah, maybe we have a way to go. Find out where that thing came from. I don't know why there'd be giants just around here. Undead. I don't know.
I guess we can ask if anyone remembers anything about giants. But otherwise, we at least have a very clear path on where to go.
Sure.
That's probably in the morning.
Right. It's a bit too late to just head off.
Be silly to head off into the woods in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go join Zagrax. And I go join Zagrax.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
Zagrax is just like slowly like takes like a couple of steps, stops, and it's just slow like moving, like trying to figure out what the freak just happened.
Right.
And Zagrax, as
I've
you're
got that.
taking a few steps away from the party and like thinking what on earth has happened, you notice that a familiar form of Orlaban is making his way steadily towards the group.
Oh,
Did you just see that?
Yeah, I did see that. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you all about. He kind of lowers his voice a little bit, looks around a bit. It's not the first time I've seen something like this.
What?
I mean, the blue lights, that's a new one. But when you asked whether I'd seen any human dead fighting, I have. And almost always against the undead animals. People in the
That
town
big?
didn't believe me. They just said undead's undead, they fight whatever's living. I only saw it once, mind. That's what I saw.
you saw giants fighting them?
No, not giants. Humans. Looked like one of the... some kind of skeleton.
Fair enough. That's very concerning.
Happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that.
Neither did I. Everyone else just kind of laughed at me when I mentioned it. Thought you might do the same, but... it's clear you're a bit more worldly now, Vulwin.
Different times I might laugh, but the blue lights, we've seen the other half of this. So what you're saying isn't unfathomable.
Well,
And it actually makes sense to what that.
I've got the rest of the drink that might be able to help, wash down this story.
that's the best way of digesting this, whatever this was. And with that, he kind of leads the way back to the tavern, immediately goes in and loudly orders another round.
Fair enough.
What?
So we probably found a spot to all gather around in there then.
Okay.
The lights. That's definitely bad. Those were bad. We've encountered them before. And he's saying this in like a hushed, tone because, I'm sure people have come back.
Oh, they have, and there is definitely a bit more of a hubbub around as people are swapping stories of what they saw and trying to work out what the hell it was. There's definitely that feeling of released tension that people hadn't even realized was pent up. And actually, Vulwin, that's something you're feeling. There's been a feeling of tension ever since you arrived in Lonelywood. This strange feeling just at the back of your neck, the hair's raised. You are pretty well in tune with Lonelywood and how this place usually feels. And there's just been something bothering you about this place since you arrived. But that feeling is alleviated. It's not gone. It just seems lessened. Like a feeling that whatever energy is around here has been depleted somewhat. Exhausted.
Yeah, whatever that was, I'm still beside myself with whatever that was, but it didn't seem bad because, like I was saying, those lights, they were ill omens. We've been tracked by those lights before, and a couple of he looks around to all of you friends would have seen up close more than I have, but we all scurried, tried to hide. Whatever it was hunting us. That's nothing good. We, think it's related to... Maybe it's... there's storms that follow it around. Strong blizzards.
Are you saying this to Olaban? Sorry?
Yeah.
He kind of nods, frowning. Of course, we've heard all kinds of stories about what goes on in the tundra. Mostly children's stories to get them to go to bed or stop them running off in the night. Blue lights, though, that's a new one even for me.
Yeah. Some creature, something. I don't know what it is. We think we first ran into it actually north of the Lonelywood. Visited an old derelict cabin. Stayed the night.
Yeah, the old hunter's shack. I think I know the one you mean. You say these things came from there?
I don't know. They didn't come from there. In fact, I don't really know where they came from. We decided to camp out for the night before heading off, and in the middle of the night, lights from out of nowhere, sweeping across the whole tundra, like they were searching. And we were the only ones that were around there.
That happened after we that thing. Too. Vulwin.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they would, because they didn't. Unless they're searching.
Yeah, what are they searching for, though? I mean, for you? What's special about you lot? No offense.
We're the Dawnbringers.
Maybe done something to piss the Frostmaiden off?
Maybe.
Vulwin, can we trust him?
More than anybody here.
We have in possession an artifact called the Summer Star.
I'm starting to see where you got your name from now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's well known the reason we have that name. Other than that, we've been trying to do things across the tundra to bring light back to the 10 towns. But,
that's definitely
actually
we need.
doing it's different. Yeah. Yeah, we do. And we have. Briefly.
Well, I'm glad that someone is. We've been pretty isolated out here. We just assumed the other towns were in a similar situation, under attack by God's knows what.
I mean,
If there are
honestly,
some
that's
have been.
far off from the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some have been. Bremen's fallen, but this is the worst I've seen of anything that we've run across yet.
We do know that a big part of this is Aurel's doing.
Yes.
She wants to freeze the world to make it a garden of sorts that never changes.
I mean, it's no secret that Aurel's behind this. I mean, she's the goddess of winter. Nimsy's even done a couple of sacrifices to her, though to no avail. Nothing weird like just leaving doors and windows open one night a month, that type of thing.
That's
First, Bryn Shander left a criminal out in the cold, froze to death.
East Haven lit a witch on fire.
At least they had committed heinous crime.
That's civilization
Well-
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convicted of. Or not
Yeah.
convicted.
Chunk of
Accused
the
of.
chunk of the towns on the Denishire are dealing with an infestation of Duragar being assaulted by them.
There are what now?
Dark dwarves.
Yeah. Terrible temper. Seem to hate everything.
So
And go
dwarves.
invisible.
Well, are they actually dwarves? He looks like Zagrax was saying. I'm like,
Yeah, they're dwarves, right? Pretty much.
but yeah, they're dwarves, but they're not.
Not friendly at all.
They can grow and shrink in size, as well as turn invisible.
That's definitely not any dwarf I've come across. Their ego might inflate, but that's about it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, all along Caracunning, Caradenimal, East Haven, all of them have been under assault from them. They usually stay in the shadows, break in, steal stuff, maybe kill wayward travelers.
So
But,
we've been under attack by
scheming.
these undead critters. The eastern town's been hit by these Dwagar.
Yeah.
And you say Brayman fell? How?
All we know is that there was some sort of blue light and that was freezing people solid, and then when they were trying to escape, that Leviathan or whatever it is in the lake decided to go and eat most of the surviving people. There's only a handful of people left from Bremen.
I mean, some of the fishermen have come back with some stories about old Bessie, but it was just kind of chalk that up to being stories.
Well,
All stories have a grain of truth somewhere in them.
and unfortunately, this one's more truth than fiction, it seems.
Seems that way, doesn't it? Well, I guess the next question is, what are we going to do about it?
I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe the answer's at the bottom of this cup. He's gonna take another swig.
And he kind of chinks his glass against yours and then drops one down, starts clicking over towards the bar until the barmaid kind of catches his attention, just gives him a nod and starts pouring another. Or comes over, grabs his mug and then starts pouring him another.
Well, first step is to hopefully alleviate your undead problem. So at this point, I don't think any of us are very well equipped to fight a freaking Leviathan. We'll leave that to the freaking Sky Hunters or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Hopefully they can handle that. I mean, needless to say, I'm interested in where that skeletal giant came from. And I don't know, something about it. If it's going up against the blue lights, if it's going up against what we presume is Arl, then I don't know, it's a small point of relief perhaps. And if you say you've seen undead humans, and he says it's very hushed, like undead humans fighting the undead creatures. Well, that can't just be by chance.
He nods. Yeah. I mean, there are all kinds of burial grounds and things around here. Most of them looted by now, but be the source of the skeletons.
Where did you see this,
Also-
by the way?
Just out when I was hunting one time. Stayed real quiet. Heard just tracking a deer. Been after him for an hour or so, maybe. thought I was getting close, started hearing some noises I didn't recognize, and the deer was already dead, throat torn out. But it got up again, was using his antlers, trying to fight this other skeleton. And skeleton's trying to hack it down. Eventually did, and then just walked off.
Very strange.
I mean, I gotta say, I don't know how much stock you can put in this, but some of the hunters that came back said they'd been attacked by skeletons. Bigger ones, not animal. But in a situation like this, undead's undead. Who knows, they might have attacked us as well. Hard to really put the fragments together. Well, the only unifying link, unifying link is dead stuff's coming back and hitting back.
Yeah.
Can I get another drink, please? Come on!
Sure, she's busy.
Nah. Lazy. Come on!
Man.
Well, I guess at very least we know what we're doing tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Hope it seems to have left a big enough trail that, hell, even I could follow it.
Well, maybe tomorrow I'll just have you do that.
Bad idea. Just because I can doesn't mean I should.
And with that, we'll say that you spend the next couple of hours in the tavern swapping stories, filling all Ban into what's been going on in your travels. Eventually, the lady whose name I keep on forgetting.
I was just going to put it in the chat. Let's see.
Your anger comes in as well, joins you. Gets pulled away every now and then to help out behind the bar, but it seems like she's had a fairly easy time of like slipping in and out whenever she wants to work on that stuff. And with that, the evening passes. You eventually make your ways back to Nimsy's and tuck in for the night. And that, I think, is where we will take our break.
Okay.
Good timing.
I've been watching the time going, it's almost past. Almost.
Almost, yeah.
My bladder has been telling me this for yes.
Okay, so we're going to take 5 minutes now. We'll check in with Highwind, see if he's had any luck with reconnecting, although by his absence I'm guessing not.
Yep.
But otherwise we'll be back, I'll say, at 25 to the hour, so 7 minutes from now. So we'll see what's
Okay. Can
That's
do.
good.
Let's do this. Okay, we should all be back again. Hello.
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 So we will say that you spent the evening at Nimsy's, and it is now the following morning. And Irilyssa, you would know that tonight is the night of the next full moon.
Ah. It's important.
So the day is yours. What would you like to do? We'll say that you all head downstairs. Nimsy's got some kind of basic grub on, like tufts of dough with some kind of cheese dip. You can dip the balls of dough into the dip and then eat it with the cheese kind of creamy on top. It's quite good. And the cheese has a slightly garlicky flavour to it.
Ooh.
At some point in the night before, Irilyssa will have a conversation with Elora. There's been a couple close calls, and I just think that these will benefit you a bit more than they do me right now. I want them
Oh?
back. And she will hand you the boots that Hilda gave her.
Are you sure?
I'm a white dragonborn. I'm already good in the cold. You need some help.
Ooh.
I mean, the amulet of Lysander has helped, or goat ball has helped a lot, but... Okay. Are you sure they look so good on you, though?
I'd rather have you alive than boots that look nice.
Do you want the slug instead?
No.
Just offering.
No.
Okay. I'll wear them
Thank you.
if you think it'll help.
I do think it will help.
Okay. Well, thank
So-
you.
Out of
But-
game, you have Boots of the Winterlands now. And I do not.
I'll share with you what they do.
Thank you. Elora is pretty... She's just surprised, but she's thankful.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, and
Ooh.
while that's sorting out, thank you, Chaos Gemini, for reminding me. Yes, Moodkiller has gotten in touch with us saying that he's not going to be able to make it to the game today. The internet connection there is too bad, but he wanted to pass on to the kobolds that he'll see you all next week.
Sad.
Yep.
But such is.
Moodkiller for sure would have run out to fight alongside the giant against the blue lights. I did wonder if anyone would do that.
I ain't.
I'm
We're
not
gonna
running
wait.
out onto the ice.
Nope, they can fight us on land.
So, have you decided what you're going to do today? Morning, by the way. Haven't really had a chance to speak to you at all since all the goings on last night.
That was fun.
Yeah, not really sure what to make of it. Bit worried that we might get attacked from the lake. We always kind of assumed that we would be relatively safe from that direction.
Well, you may not have to worry about that now,
You think?
because that would have happened last night if it had been dealt with. Those were definitely what those lights were.
Yeah,
What
those were
those
not
lights?
friendly in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Vulwin kind of like looks at the rest of the group.
We don't know for sure exactly what they were or are, but we know that they have some kind of connection to Arl. And not a good kind.
If there is such a thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, is any connection to Oral a good type? I guess we'll
If-
need to intensify the sacrifices of heat that we've been making to her, see if she can, let up for a bit.
I think she's intent on not doing that.
Yeah.
So might want to just conserve the heat.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think she cares about the sacrifices or anything like that.
Not in today's day and age.
Who's to say what the gods and goddesses really want, though? Sure, she might be keeping
But-
things dark, but we're still here. Still
Right.
have a chance.
You see Zagrax open his mouth to say something, and then he looks at Irilyssa and just closes his mouth and just sits there.
Irilyssa, you definitely noticed this.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that at some point. But yeah, I think we're gonna go out and take a look north of here, where that skeleton came crashing through the forest. Not really familiar with giants being around here.
Nah, that was one for the
Really?
books. I mean, of course we've heard about the old giants that used to be present throughout Icewind Dale, but never seen one before, let alone a dead one.
Yeah. And if it took out those lights, maybe it's good for us. So if we can find out where it came from, maybe we'll have some kind of answer. Or maybe not. Maybe there's multiple things going on here, and they're all fighting over little old Lonely Wood.
I did want to ask you about that. I mean, have you ever seen or heard about it before where dead things are protecting you? Seems weird to even say that.
No.
No.
Nope.
Well, there was that one thing. But no, under normal circumstances, no.
Alright, well, if we see any of those beasties near us, we'll deal with them in the same way that we've been dealing with the other beasties, until we can clarify exactly... I mean, they're undead. They're an abomination, aren't they? Pretty much any good, proper, stout-hearted being would be wanting to crush those things.
Well, generally they leave
Yeah.
you no choice in the matter, so yes. But
Right.
if there's a choice in the matter, at this point in time, who are we to go and say no to any sort of help?
Yeah, we've
Considering
seen a
the
lot of
current
things.
siege.
Well, I'm sure that Olaban said something about it himself, but there have been talk about some of the hunters being attacked by humanoid undead.
Yeah.
And one of the things I didn't
Yeah.
want to start spreading, but we've had pretty much confirmed, is some of the hunters which were killed by whatever have been coming back to life and then stalking what were previously their brethren, their brothers even.
Hmm. Maybe it's whoever gets to it first, gets to the body first. Whatever's going on, it's confusing.
Maybe.
Just don't take any chances out there, alright?
We're taking a chance just going out.
True.
We always stay as safe as we can.
Jumping into the trouble as it comes up.
Right.
Well,
Thanks, though.
if you do manage to sort out whatever this thing is, there'll always be a plate of cookies here on the table for you whenever you want them. I'll tell you that much.
Well, that alone makes this worth it.
I have a feeling it'll be worth it when we come back.
You sure you want to? I mean, I'm not gonna ask you. Except for Vulwin, none of you are citizens here of Lonelywood. If you feel better off going somewhere else, I'll understand.
No, we're here.
We lost one town already. If nobody does nothing here, as long as you guys can survive, you can't survive indefinitely.
Right.
Well, damn, we'll keep fighting,
Yeah.
though.
Oh, yeah. But time will keep passing, and if we don't find something, we need to go out.
Right. We plan to come here even without the monetary ask. So, we're in it for the long haul.
Well, if there's anything that I can do to make the going easier, just holler. I'll do what I can. Is there anything I can do to help?
As of right now, I don't think so. Other
Oh,
than
God.
what you did
Go
the
ahead.
first time,
Right.
let us in the wall when we come running back.
Yeah.
Oh, we always
You
keep
know, if you
someone
got
up on. We always keep a lookout just in case there was people coming from the rest of the 10 towns. We didn't know if anyone really knew of what the plight here was like. It's certainly escalated, but you never know.
Yeah, well, if you've got some kind of magic solution that'll solve all this before we step foot outside the ramparts, let us know now, because that would be the best thing I've heard.
If we had any hokey pokey that could do that, we would have done it by now.
Yep.
I know. I know.
Well,
We'll be back.
yep.
See that you are. And with that, she kind of reluctantly moves back into the kitchen. You hear the scramble of various pots and pans coming from that direction.
Oh, there that's the burning.
Yeah. Wonder what the next secret ingredient's gonna be.
Oh, let's find out when we come back.
Look forward
Salt.
to it.
It's salt. People always forget the salt.
Now we don't have anything to look forward to. Dang it.
You never
That's-
forget flaky sea salt on top will really help.
All right. Then I think we head towards the north of town, where the skeletal giant crashed through, and we're gonna start following it back through from wherever it came.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who is doing what for this? Gonna need a
Zagrax
navigator
is
as
leading the
usual
way today.
to lead
Yeah.
the way. Need someone who's
No.
going to be looking around, who's scooting a boot. Is
I'm
Johan-
leaving Johan behind, dismissing him for this. By the way, I'm just gonna point that out now. He's not gonna be nope.
Okay then.
I have a
Okay.
feeling I probably dismissed him when all of this shit went down with all the animals, but we kind of always forget that he exists when we get into combat. So, but it was when plus having a moose just kind of meander in in the middle of an undead horde.
Well, don't
Yeah, it's
forget,
gonna
We did
go
already-
well with people.
you can ride him. You can just say, "Hey, Mordred, I'm riding the moose." I'll be like, "All right, cool," and then we back
But-
the moose with you on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
Mounted combat. There you go.
Yeah,
It
not yet.
exists. You can use it.
We'll get there. We will get there.
Wonderful. I should probably roll
Moose
scoot in the
strike.
boot. All right. Scoot in the boot time.
So we say
Good
on our
time.
way out to the wall. Zagrax is going to mention: is it worth contacting Bryn Shander to let him know the crap here is real bad?
Hey, Bryn Shander, shit's bad up here.
Yeah, bad.
Send reinforcements that can get cut down and then apply to their ranks.
True.
Wow, it's
If you want me to, I can send a message to Devesa.
for reinforcements.
To let her know that things are bad.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Although I don't know what she's going to do about it since she's not the
Well, yeah. It's not necessarily on
You can
us to
send it
do
to
anything
Maxwell
about
Danner.
it.
Oh yeah, he loves hearing about information.
True.
He does, actually.
Or I could just hold on to it. The energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, just wanted to ask to see if we wanted to do that. But thinking further, what could they do? As we well know, every town's busy trying to stay alive themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a survival check from Vulwin. Can I get a perception check from the scooting a boot?
Yeah, I got a 25.
Got a very
Look at
It's like I know the lonely.
You were
Okay,
one
so-
off Brit.
Yeah.
You start heading out of the town, skirting along the coast, and before too long, you come across what look to be trees that are broken and shattered, lying out into the coastline, like the tops of the trees pointing towards the lake, and then just this gap going through the woods for some reason.
Unknown. Wow, weird.
Oh. What do you think left this? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Anybody seen Tahko?
Tahko is with you.
He's hanging out. He's
yeah.
still in a cookie coma.
Yes, there you go. That's exactly what's up. Like you say, it's Tahko around, you just hear this.
This is like the time that he ate too much soup. I've seen this. He functions like Tahko, but he doesn't talk like Tahko. He just stops talking. Honestly, it was the best.
A mixture of getting his neck broken and eating too much soup. Cookie coma.
All right.
Well, we're going to have to try and follow this completely invisible path that's almost impossible to detect through the woods.
Okay, so you follow the trampled path with really no issue at all. But within about 20 minutes, the broken brush just ends. And there is what looks to be a large pit in the ground. What was probably once a barrow mound, split open. The big, heavy cairnstones littered around this small clearing. As it is now, it looks like it's been fairly heavily overgrown in the past. And there's just this gouge in the earth.
Oh, that's a bit
I
more
don't like
anticlimactic than what I was hoping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it does make sense. You know, undead humans and giants and elsewhere, and marked and unmarked graves in the lonely wood coming back to life.
It makes sense.
Sure, as much as anything does.
I'm going to use one of my things as of divine sense. So until the end of my next turn, I can sense anything affected by the hollow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Okay. Give me a investigation check.
Oof.
So there is a, for you Zagrax, lingering smell of decay, death. Faint though. Except for one little pinprick of intense disgust coming from a small tuft of snow a couple of feet away from the broken cairn. And Vulwin, you also feel the glimmer of something in that same direction.
I'll walk over there and using the handle of my hammer, kind of like dig in the snow. Hey, touching crap.
Yeah, there's something over there.
Okay, so Zagrax,
it's
you clear the snow away, and you see what looks to be a half-eaten mouse, its right hind leg missing, scrambling against the snow, like trying to claw its way out like it was buried. Its intestines still kind of sticking out and flowing in the snow behind it.
Oh, that's not what I was hoping to find.
And I'll just bonk it.
Give me an attack roll.
Well, I'm not bonking it with the hammer so it goes boom splatter, but like bonk it with the half
Poking it with like a stick.
Well, you know, it's the I don't need to go just explode it everywhere.
So you're still hitting it with the hammer though, even if it's just like a boop. Okay, so you go boop, and then there's a as the second kinetic explosion just sends fragments of this thing all around the snow around you.
Zagrax, what are you doing?
Splattered with bits of nastiness.
Well, that was a bit overkill. My bad.
Yeah. Was that the thing I noticed from over that direction?
Yes.
Ew?
And the lingering
What?
feeling that you had from this Vulwin dissipates quickly.
Zagrax, that was something.
An undead mouse.
Well, no. Maybe. He was certainly dead.
Oh, it was still moving.
Had a glow around it.
To you?
Yeah. Not very intense, but it's gone now.
What?
Well,
Because it's, it chunks.
kind of everywhere, yeah.
But, whatever energy was around it's gone now.
Weird. Can I actually look around the whole area to see if there's anything of note otherwise?
Give me an investigation roll.
Yeah.
I'll look around with
No.
you, too.
There is a big hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And you're not sure how this has happened, seeing as it seems to be somewhat detracted from the rest, but there's 2 pairs of footsteps that goes over to this other, slightly smaller hole in the ground, which just is covered in this red dye, maybe?
Yeah, welcome back. Did you find anything?
Laura's wandering around. She's like, this is so weird. I don't understand.
I
I'd
will
like
say,
to go take a
Vulwin,
look.
with your very good
Yeah.
survival check earlier, there are various other tracks ranging out from here. It's difficult to make out precisely what they are, how old they are, etc. The way that I'm going to roll this, basically, is you can spend a certain amount of time searching, and we'll do a die roll to see if you find anything while you are searching.
Okay. So that's, let me restate that again, just making sure I heard that correctly.
So you'll spend a certain unit of time,
Yep.
which I'm just going to tell you is about 3 hours,
Yep.
just doing the search action. And for every
And
3
we'll see the
hours, you
result.
roll a dice, and then that basically determines what you find. So it's 1d10.
Sounds good. Okay.
Well, I don't think there's much else right around here. There's a bunch of tracks. Maybe we can wander a bit, see if we can find anything else. Well, at least
Okay.
we've got affirmation that there's upended graves.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Give me a 1d10, Vulwin.
1d10.
As you are the scooting a boot. No, sorry, as you're the
Okay.
navigator.
all right. 1d10. Got a 5.
Okay. So you roam around for roughly 3 hours. And pretty much all of these tracks that you are finding lead to dead ends. Either creatures that have already died and have been pretty badly smashed apart, scattered bones and other fragments of a corpse, or just nothing. It's just one of those tricks of nature where sometimes you find what you think is a track and it isn't.
It's always trouble around here.
Irilyssa.
None of this leads anywhere, but doesn't mean there's not something out here.
Sure there is. But, it's a thick wood. We just have to keep looking, I guess.
Yeah. We've only got so much time, but we'll use as much of it as we can. It's probably best we don't make camp out here
Mm-mm.
tonight.
Right.
Nope.
Irilyssa, roll me a 1d10
Yes.
as you set out and start searching again.
And
Give me a 1d6.
Oh,
do
I don't know if that's good or bad.
So you roam around for a while, and eventually, Vulwin, you spot several tracks of what you imagine to be squirrels, except some of them seem to be missing a limb, or some of them have clearly broken limbs. Some of them seem to be just dragging themselves, but they're all from around various trees, and they seem to be congregating in one group, and then this group of tracks disappears into the undergrowth beyond.
Ah. Looks like there's a small migration of critters this way.
Joy.
Okay.
But tracks disappear into the undergrowth, so that's better than nothing. They're heading somewhere.
I'd like to note that I am actually putting away my hammer and bringing out the Morning Lord flail.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh yeah. I see you do that, like... Anybody got a stick or something I can borrow?
Oh,
Like a staff.
do you want to use this?
What's he holding out?
The flail.
One of the black crystalline flails which has been blessed by Mishan. No, sorry, not Mishan. It was Idoash, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, I think it was.
No, it was Marshan.
Was it
was
Marshan?
Marshan.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Oh,
we brought it.
they were
We brought it in.
purified.
Idoash cleansed it, and then she...
Yeah.
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 Both are a big help.
Well, I guess I could keep it on me. I'm not really versed in using this. Just- I don't know about flails, but it's maybe a good idea, actually.
Well, at least
I've
it's
noticed that stabbing these things isn't very effective.
Yeah, so I've got it's either this or the hammer, and those are the only other things. Or I think I still have.
It's where the party just shows off their entire arsenal.
It's either the hammer or the flail. That's all I've got that could possibly help. So, and I highly doubt you'd be able to use the warhammer better or worse than the flail.
Yeah, probably not. Just it's a stick, but it's got a metal ball on it with spikes. Just kind of spin it around and swing. Sure.
Flail is a martial weapon flail.
Yeah. So if you don't have like proficiency to use something, can you just use it without proficiency?
I think so, yeah. Only thing is, I'm not sure if you can use magic items if you're not proficient.
I mean, yeah, I would expect that it has to do some kind of like attunement
Well,
and.
I actually warhammers are not martial, so you would get proficiency on it, wouldn't you?
I'm actually surprised you don't have proficiency in martial flail. Really? As a ranger?
Hold on. Let me double check.
Because rangers get
Maybe
a
it's
lot.
just
They're
been a
basically a hybrid fighter.
They do. Maybe I do, and I just don't know. It's been a while. Let's see. Oh no, I do. I can use it. Yeah, I have proficiency with martial weapons. I forgot that they did. Sorry, it's just been too long. Yeah, they're basically forest
okay.
fighter. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So it's like, well, yeah, it's simple enough. You just spin it around and swing in a direction. Sure, maybe this maybe the heat from it will be enough to sear them.
Okay, I have shared the weapon with you, Vulwin.
Yay. Thank you.
And it will take you a short rest to attune.
Okay. Meanwhile, I can swing it.
Yeah, I mean, the tuning in this instance basically just getting a feel of it and understanding how this thing works.
Yeah.
And it seems to glow like a little bit warmer in your hands as you do so. And you get this.
I'll kind of set it away.
Actually,
Yeah, I'll just be like, I'm just gonna set that away.
give me a will save, Vulwin.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm gonna send a secret will save.
Is
So how's everybody doing?
good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
All right,
so who do I hit with the flail? I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Not me.
Yeah. So I accept the flail from you, Zagrax, and I immediately put it away in a pack.
Okay.
But it's not needed yet.
Okay. I'll pull out hammer again.
How many of those flails do we have?
Yes. I think it's just mine.
I thought Tahko had some too.
Yeah, but he gave a flail. I think he gave a flail and a couple of javelins to Danica Ascendant to work on and fix the ship.
Yeah, I think he did too. I'll just double check his inventory, which makes for interesting reading.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He collects a lot of junk.
It's Highwind.
No, it doesn't look like he has the flail. At least not in this list.
Huh. Okay.
Did he give all the
But yeah,
javelins away too?
thanks. Thanks, Zagrax.
Yep. Not a problem. Ain't doing nothing sitting in my bag. I mean, considering what we're up against.
Yep.
My hammer does well enough with them.
Yeah. Basically, I've got to like just set on the outside for quick retrieval.
Okay. So, what are you doing with this track of squirrels ahead of you?
I think we're going to follow it, see what's over in that direction if nobody protests.
Okay, so as
Follow
you
the
as you make your way
squirrels.
through the brush and the undergrowth, that this track twists and turns around, you start to hear something on the wind ahead. Sounds like the scrape and chitter of bones and squirrels, with the odd thud ahead of you somewhere.
All right. Hey, everybody, stick close. And I'm going to. I think is it level 1 or level 2? I'm going to use Pass Without Trace. So that we're a little sneakier and we can maybe sneak up and see what's going on without spooking the squirrels and inciting the rage of the entire forest of undead creatures.
Give me
good, yeah.
a stealth check, all of you, with the plus
Absolutely.
10.
I believe it is. Let me
13.
double check. Where is
It's
Pass
plus 10,
Without
yeah.
Trace? Oh, there it is. I'll just ping it out into chat so everybody can see it too.
Such a nice spell.
It's so good.
It's come in handy.
Yeah. So yeah,
So stealth
just
roll
roll
plus
stealth and we'll just add 10. So that's a 13, 21.
21.
And 31.
Team.
Yeah.
14.
Man, I loved using that on my ranger. She's like, "Oh, we got to be stealthy, Pass Without Trace," and then I was like, stupid proficient at stealth, so I'd get like 30s
Yeah.
consistently. You're like,
What
oof.
armor do you wear, Highwind?
It's
Question.
got scale mail too.
That's with disadvantage then, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it heavy armor?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's still 21.
Not bad.
Okay, so you all creep quietly in the direction of where the sounds are coming from, and before too long, hugging the shadows as you are, you see that there is a single skeleton surrounded by a mob of various squirrels and small rodents, each of them snapping out and biting at this skeleton as it raises a foot and then crunches down on top of one of them, shattering it, and then a couple of the squirrels attach themselves and start to try and climb up it, and it will just swipe them away with a hand, leaving them scattered in the grass. a fight of some kind is definitely going on between this lone human skeleton or humanoid skeleton and this mob of pretty dead-looking squirrels.
I always
They're
knew
so
squirrels
lively.
were evil. This just goes and proves it.
And every now and then you get this angry chittering, and then another rush from the squirrels, and another stomp, another crunch.
Looks like there is it fighting. I'll just kind of like turn and whisper to whoever's closest to me.
So, do we just sit and watch?
I mean, they are taking care of it.
Stopping the squirrels. Effectively, it looks like. Does it look very effectively?
It does, actually. So as you're watching, it probably takes a good minute or two. But eventually, the skeleton grabs the last of the squirrels, throws it on the ground, stamps on it, and everything around grows quiet, as now it's just the skeleton left standing. And he looks around at the forest before reaching down into the snow for something.
How did it?
He picks up a very, very rusted sword, puts it over his shoulder, just starts walking away from you guys.
Where do you think it's going?
You would know more than me.
It's a forest. I mean, there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of forest. Could be going anywhere.
Does it,
I'd like to like slowly move along and just try not to like lose sight of it.
Okay. So you all...
I just realized try not to lose sight of a skeleton, which is white, and a snowy backdrop, which is white.
Well, it's...
Well, if it's got armor or
it's
something
off.
on it.
Yeah, it does have like scraps of some kind of armor. It's kind of difficult to make out. And the bones are off-white at this point. They're more
Yeah, fair.
cream-coloured. But you follow the skeleton behind, probably for a good hour or so. Give me a perception check, Vulwin.
Certainly.
And Irilyssa.
24.
Nice. Wow.
Oh,
And Elora as well.
22.
And Zagrax.
What?
I'm not gonna leave you out.
Wow.
Damn.
And
Nice.
That
We
was real
seeing
awful.
all the things now.
So you all, at roughly the same time, hear something in the distance, definitely in the direction that this skeleton is currently going in. It's difficult to make out, but there is definitely some kind of fracas going on ahead.
Oh, what now?
Conflict of some kind. A disturbance.
Conflict.
You sense a disturbance in the forest.
Ah, yes, of course, of course. You're speaking my language now.
oh,
Are you
is
gonna
it time
continue
for
following?
round
check
two?
this out.
Uh,
I looked at everybody. I was like, "Do we want to check this out?"
we're already this far.
We might as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you head deeper into the forest following the skeleton, the sounds of combat grow louder. You can hear an animalistic roar, and then a crunch. You'll hear a hiss, and then the clash of something metallic thudding into something, the chitter of small creatures. Crash, bang, and wallop of combat is up ahead. But you definitely hear more noise surrounding this. Previously, the undead attacks you've heard have been almost in silence, except for the actual impacts. Here there is definitely vocalization. There is definitely noise accompanying it. There is loud screeches, there are roars, there are hisses, there are yelps.
Well, that's different.
Well, that's. I guess actually that would be kind of normal, but I guess not here.
Yeah.
Whatever's fighting might be alive.
Yeah, we should definitely check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, at this point, like, has more than an hour passed.
Probably about an hour.
Yeah. Everybody should see their footsteps showing back up, knowing that Pass Without Trace has dissipated by this time.
Fair enough.
So are you
See
going
what's
to?
around the...
Are you going to move closer in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give me another stealth check, each of you.
Woo! Not bad.
Not bad.
Considering disadvantage and no pluses.
Tahko.
Also, if Tahko has scale mail, it doesn't give disadvantage.
I like
really?
to
It
imagine
does.
Alora
I
is
looked it
just
up.
mimicking Vulwin.
Scale mail
Scale mail
is,
does.
is
One of
medium
them
armor.
does.
I know, but it
Yeah,
still
but-
gives disadvantage on stealth because
Oh, no,
it
he has a-
jingles.
He has a chain
It
shirt.
does.
I just checked. He has a chain
Huh.
shirt, not scale. And chain, I think,
Yeah,
doesn't cause noise.
Yeah,
No.
scale I think is like one of the best you can get for medium armor, but the trade-off is that it's got
Noisy.
disadvantage on stealth. Yeah, there's only like one that's better than it, but I think that one's like way more expensive. So
Breastplate. Or...
yeah,
Yeah,
Okay,
It
so-
doesn't
breastplate.
say things.
So actually, Tahko doesn't get disadvantage, so he rolled a 5 instead of 4.
wonderful Tahko.
Feel less
So the
bad.
scene before
does.
you all is a strange one. You see one of those giant skeletons that you saw the previous night at Lonelywood stomping down on what looks to be a long-toothed cat. You've got another skeleton, large horns sprouting out of its head, charging towards a cat. You've got two bears currently struggling against each other, both of them on their hind feet, just wrestling almost into the snow. And around them all, you've just got this gaggle of humanoid skeletons, a couple of them up on top of a cliff with bows shooting down into the entanglement below. You've got one or two of them with like two-handed axes, two-handed sword and shield, hammering away at the various animals and things which are around. Then beneath the feet of all of this, you've got a couple of similar-looking undead squirrels and rodents and a wolf or two that just leap up and start chewing away at the large cat. The cat will turn, swipe them back with a claw, then get a two-handed axe buried into its back. It will scream in pain, turn around, then start raking again at the skeleton that it's fighting against at the moment.
So just to clarify, the animals that are not obviously undead are not undead, if that makes any level of sense.
Yes.
Okay.
So there is a mixture here. There are undead animals, there are living animals, there are undead humanoids, all going at it. And with the
Everyone's
couple
fighting.
of seconds that you've had to watch this, it's difficult to make out what exactly is happening. That's just a combat. You can try to stay here for a little bit longer and try to judge exactly what is happening, but that would come with its own risks.
Yeah, I can't talk directly to Tahko, not really, but
These beasts are. It's just like the kid of Tahko's sister.
What? I don't know.
Whatever it is, they're alive.
yeah, because I mean, like, it's not common to see these kinds of creatures just all grouped together. And I remember quite a bit ago, like when we encountered it, we encountered bears, and large white bears. We do have a way to figure it out, but honestly, yeah, this is uncommon. This is really uncommon.
Tahko
So, like, at least
nods for a moment. I don't know much about these were creatures, but there are bears in there. It is possible that one of them is Swiftrunner. Or one of the other.
All I know is that they're alive.
Yes.
Yeah. That we know they fought the undead. I don't think we could sit idly here.
Agreed.
And Vulwin, taking a moment to take in what's happening here, you recognize that the undead animals and the living animals seem to be not attacking each other. With one exception. A solitary bear that's in the middle of the whole fight. That seems to be just fighting everything.
Okay.
Just fighting everything. Okay.
Like, as you watch, one of the skeletons will run up, axe raised, the bear will turn around and just smash it in half. As it does so, another skeleton, like, jumps onto the back of the bear will, like, almost sit back into the snow, crushing it beneath it, and then take a two-handed axe blow to the side of the face. It'll spit some blood into the snow, and then start entangling again with the other bear, both of them grunting with the exertion of the power that they're unleashing here. Jaws snapping as they try to catch the neck of the other.
Yeah, I have... Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. You first.
I'd say I have a good and a bad feeling about this. Yeah, he'll point out that one right there is fighting everything.
Is that a
There's
good
more.
thing or a bad thing?
Well, it sounds like there's 3 sides here. Can't tell you which one's good or bad.
Should we
Do
intervene?
we just like waltz in there and see what attacks us?
I mean, it's more like, what are we attacking?
Well, yeah, but if we announce our presence and some start attacking us, then I assume we can assume they're hostile.
Everything here is hostile.
Try and get the undead to run away.
Well, we know that taking out the undead's good. We need to get rid of them to begin with.
And as you're saying
Right.
this, there is a large crash as one of the nearby trees nearest to Tahko gets toppled, and a very large 4-legged creature with a giant horn sprouting out of the front of its head lowered as it charges, running straight at Tahko. And with that, I will move you over to the battle scene. Just
Wonderful.
making sure
All right.
that
Nice.
I reset all of Tahko's magic, because I did not do that when he was on the list.
I really do. We all whisper, turn to Tahko, and Tahko's like, yeah, I don't know, that might be a thing going on over there. Like, a little too loud.
Yeah, exactly. So let me just sort out.
It's like he said, yeah, that looks like my bitch of a sister.
Yeah.
You said what?
Say
Wow.
what now? She
I mean, he
drops
says-
everything.
It might be she might be one of those. Hard to say which. And then this tusked creature comes lunging out of the undergrowth, charging straight at him.
It's got like the off-screen like thing just running past, dragging him across. Like, there he goes.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, there's a
Yeah.
rhino.
Yeah. Rhino time.
I
my
was
God.
hoping it was a unicorn. But then it was attacking us, so I didn't want it to be a unicorn.
That unicorn.
Bad. Bad.
Oh, don't fight a unicorn.
Well,
It's not a good idea.
Honestly, we're in the fight no matter what now. So
Yep. Here we
And
go.
with that, I am going to need you all to roll initiative.
All right.
wonderful.
Nice.
Pretty quick here.
Nice.
You didn't have your tokens left.
Sick.
Oh no.
Not you, Zagrax.
Are we supposed to see the skeleton boy?
A 3.
Oh, pain. Oh,
Ooh. Irilyssa.
we are all
like
over the place.
Today's the day, Irilyssa. You got like, what is it, a full moon tonight?
Mm-hmm.
You are hashtag blessed.
No, cast bless.
Prepare that today.
I really wish that the name hiding thing was working.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is there anything else? The
Yeah,
rhino?
it's-
Have I done
so
the
you-
rhino?
So you know, cast rebuke dumb, mean creatures.
Alright, who didn't click their token?
Zagrax.
Zagrax.
What? I clicked on my token.
You did it.
Clearly didn't. So what did you get?
A 9.
9. And Tahko.
She's gonna be like, hey, let me quickly re-roll.
Yeah. I totally, maybe I had it selected and then I don't know. I meant to. I tried to. Apparently failed.
Okay, so the first attack is going to come from the rhino because it did technically get surprised because you guys just stood there flat-footed. And then after that, Irilyssa will go. Let me just go and sort out
Fair
my
enough.
list of enemies here. Okay.
Surprise, Rhino.
Surprise rhino charge!
What kind of rhino?
That is a 9 to hit. So it basically just slams into a tree, which is just to the side of Tahko. He was trying to gouge with the large horn, but instead it catches the tree and then pretty much just comes to a halt against the tree. The tree itself alarmingly starts to bend towards you guys, the roots showing already as it comes down. So the rhino fluffed it. Irilyssa.
Hey.
I think we need something a little bit more energetic.
Hmm.
That is spooky.
20, 25. I'll stay right here. And I'm gonna cast Moonbeam
Okay.
on the big skeleton dude on top of him. And then I'm gonna do it at 3rd level.
Can I just say, when you said long-toothed cat, I totally was thinking like bobcat with long teeth, not, a saber-toothed tiger.
I didn't want to
I
give it
was
away
like-
straight away, but it's going to list
Yeah.
all bloody names, so...
I was
What
like,
can you do?
long-toothed cat, huh? Then you're like, it took an axe hit. Like, huh? I feel like if you hit a bobcat with an axe, it wouldn't be able to turn around and start fighting again.
So let's give this...
I got really spooked for a moment. I saw that bubble and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then realized it was Moonbeam.
So Irilyssa, you should be able to place that. Does Moonbeam give off light? It does, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Like 10 feet or something.
No, I think the soap up.
Okay. Then on its turn, it will take the damage. So anything else?
Doesn't Swift Runner wear a special necklace?
No,
No. Okay.
because the
I thought
necklace you gave to Tahko.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
Tahko's got it. Yep.
She did.
If we ever ran across any of them to
I mean,
show it.
I will say, give me a perception check with disadvantage, because you're doing this in the height of the fight, and there's pretty chaotic right now. You've not really had time to kind of go, who is it?
I did point out the one that looked like it was attacking everyone. Maybe that might help.
I mean,
Right.
it's a little bit hard to say, because both of the
It's that
bears there
bear.
are attacking everyone.
It's that bear.
13.
It's hard to make out. Every time you kind of go, oh, it's probably, maybe not. That one has a broken ear, and I don't remember. Oh, maybe it's, no. You can't tell.
That's gonna be my turn then.
Okay, Vulwin.
Okay, so there was a rhino that just came flying in and tried to attack Tahko.
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, he's gonna immediately be like, shit, as it hits the tree with a loud thud right next to us, and he's going to
I'm going to say that
swirl
Tahko
around
was pushed
and
back to there.
oh, okay.
It's more tree
Yeah, then he's gonna immediately step over and instinctually grab his sword and try to stab it. In fact, he'll take a bonus action to make it hunter's marked.
Go for it. So
Go
one
ahead and
hunter's
bring up
mark.
the hunter's mark icon. There we go. That way I can remember I have it. All right. Short sword. Normal attack roll. 16.
16 hits.
Okay. And hunter's mark. For 15 piercing. Let's see if this thing is skelly bones or not.
This one is definitely not skeleton. This is living.
Ooh.
And as you stab out with the sword, you feel it glide through various masses of muscle and the thick hide that it has, but you're able to get your blade in quite deep, and the rhino rears back, both of its hooves kind of pouring against the air at the pain of what you've just inflicted.
Damn it, if you're one of those shapeshifters, you better say something. And he's done. That's all he's got.
Then it's Big Skelly Boy, who's going to need to take a what save?
DC 14.
Con save, was that?
Yes.
That is an 18.
So he takes half of 15. Radiant.
7. Okie dokie. So you see slight smoke starting to burn away the top of his shoulders, but he kind of just shrugs it off, raises his giant axe, and then brings it down on top of the cat. There, trying to strike at him. That is 2 hits. This is going to be very, very painful. I'm going to need a calculator because it's that painful.
Oh dear. I don't like that.
Who's receiving the painful? No.
Yeah.
And immediately,
It's not Skelly Bones?
the first blow rears the cat up, lifting it bodily off of the ground, and then with a broad sweep he hits the cat baseball style, sweeping his blade straight through the middle of the cat, cutting it pretty much cleanly in half. It then looks towards the bears and makes its way up this way.
Does Moonbeam kill it first?
Alright, Rhino
Took a
Boy.
whole 7 radiant damage and died.
Come on!
Even if it was quadrupled, it still wouldn't be dead.
So the Rhino is going to take a step back, which means attack of opportunity from you and Tahko if you so wish. Which Tahko will.
For the moment, because of what I said, I'm withholding.
Okay.
Well, actually, no. If it's stepping back and hasn't said anything, I'm stabbing it. Never mind.
Go for it. Because Tahko does. As it tries to turn bodily away, Tahko slams out with his blade trying to strike it. 12 does in fact hit. Go ahead and roll
Oh
damage.
wow. Hunter's Mark plus a Colossus Slayer.
Which is 21 total.
21 points. Yeah.
Nice.
And again, you plunge your blade in deeply into its hide, and you actually get carried 2 or 3 feet along with it, just from the sheer intensity of its movement. It rushes back up the cliff, turns, and charges back down at you. Does
Damn it!
23 hit.
23 hits.
Okay, you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as it goes slamming into you. Plus, you take an extra... ...7 points of piercing damage as the tusk gores straight through, and I need you to make a strength save, please.
Ow! 10.
Which you fail, so you have been launched bodily back and you are now prone in the snow. From the impact of this thing.
Damn it!
Zagrax.
Yay. Well, I just saw Rhino go and freaking yeet Vulwin, so 5, 10, 15, and what was I gonna do? Oh, no. Okay, I'm gonna bonk it.
Bonk away.
And I do lose concentration on Hunter's Mark.
15 hits.
8 bonk damage.
8 bonk damage is enough. As the tusk is kind of stuck in Vulwin, it's trying desperately to pull its nose back again, and with that momentary lapse in its defenses, you raise your hammer high and then just bring it crushing down between the 2 tusks, narrowly missing Vulwin with the blow, and you just feel the snout underneath just crack, and the rhino's legs just kind of sprawl outwards as it immediately just collapses and falls still.
Well, whatever it was, it's dead now.
I hope it doesn't get back up. God, got me good on the side. It is like spitting blood out.
Was there anything else?
I'm gonna go just kind of bop beep, and then that'll be it.
Okay. Then
I don't like the look of that thing.
polar bear is going to attack other polar bear.
Totally not confusing.
Which
Right.
misses both times. So the claws are raking against the northernmost one, but the northern one just kind of pushes out its elbows a little bit, stopping the rakes coming in, and then pushes the polar bear back bodily as the mouth is snapping, trying to get purchase on the neck, but being forced back as it is, it's unable to hit anything. Tahko. I don't bloody know.
This is what happens when you run out of Coca-Cola.
Really?
The bears fight over the last one.
Bear
Gotcha.
Civil War.
The Great
Bear
Bear
Civil
Civil
War.
War of 21. It ran out of cola.
No, Pepsi's not okay.
So Tahko is going to point up to the sky with his mace and then bring it down again. And as he does, you see these black feathers start to coalesce over his back as the familiar spirit guardians gets cast around him.
Yep.
I'll post that so I can read it. How far is the aura? 15 feet.
Oh, it's up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous
I-
spell.
I thought we said it was a minute before. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
I
this
think we
is-
did by accident, but it pretty much lasts for your entire combat unless you lose concentration.
oh, I see.
And Tahko's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
But hey, every time you get hit, there's a 50% chance that you lose it. So
Yeah.
Stay close to me. And then that's Tahko's turn done. Tiger
Got whacked.
is going to go 5, 10, 15, and then wallop.
Wait, it's a
these
different
guys
one?
There.
It's
Oh
up at
no.
there's a lot happening
There's
over there I
another
can't
one.
see.
I can't. No.
That
Oh
is
no.
No.
And
ping,
something. You just hear basically the snap of bone from somewhere to the north. Those of you who can't see what's happening. All right, Skelly boys, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a little concerned about these skelly boys.
I'm concerned about this entire thing.
You can see those. Never
Yeah, we can
mind.
see him.
Yep, they're just shooting some stuff.
Who can see what now? I can see shit.
Yeah, they're shooting
You
from
can
somewhere.
see everything.
So you hear the twang of various bows releasing from somewhere to the north, and the growl of them hitting something. Then we've got two more. We're going to use these. That's 2 hits. That's 1 damage. Oh, you genius. That's all of them. Did I remember you? I forgot to roll for one. Which I'm just going to do now because he would have moved. So there is what looks to be a large moose, skeletal frame of a moose.
Moose.
Oh,
And
No, Han.
is-
No, Han returns.
well, I mean, if it's does it have a bow?
It does not have a bow.
Oh, it can't be Bohan.
Oh.
It is going to rush at you, Irilyssa. Its antlers lowered and is going to just slam
God,
into
no.
you. That's not the right guy.
Thank Amy covered for hiding behind this rock.
Not in close combat, you don't. Does
Yep.
a 15 hit.
No, it does not.
Okay, so you kind of crouch down behind the rock, and this thing just goes full impact into the rock, forcing it to roll towards you ominously a foot or two, and then it just kind of rocks back into the little craters that it was sitting in. and it has pretty much saved you from that impact. Elora.
Okay. Well, first 5, 10. But do I know which of these bears is the one that's attacking everything?
Both of them.
Both of them are just attacking everything around them?
Yep.
Okay. That's fine. What I'm going to do then...
Actually, give me a perception check with disadvantage, because one thing that I haven't put on the battlefield, just because of how quickly you annihilated them before, there are all kinds of like undead wolves and various mini critters and things like that. So let's take a look to see what they're hitting.
Okay.
So give me a perception disadvantage. Nope, hard to make out. They're just everywhere. And as Tahko is moving forwards, you are noticing that the feathers are launching out and just striking these little guys around.
Pew pew. Okay. Go down. I don't want to. What?
There's the moose that just kind of came running down into our midst as well.
20. Okay. So I want to put. Yep. I'll do it here. Yes, I'm gonna throw down. Oh wait, what is the range? I don't think I can do that. Never mind. I'm just gonna shoot that thingy that's attacking Irilyssa.
Okay.
For the sake of simplicity.
Roll it.
No. That was 7. Oh, 1.
Roll me a 1d4.
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 Oh God.
1.
Irilyssa, as you're crouching behind the rock, this impact of pure energy from Elora slams into the rock, fragmenting it into small little pieces, leaving you crouching behind a small pile of rubble.
Sorry!
He just looks over at you. Is this what I get for giving you boots?
I'm trying to help! She'll shoot again. It's a 16.
16 hits, roll damage.
13.
Alright, Irilyssa, you take 13 damage. Joking. No, so you launch the first one and you just melt the rock in front of Irilyssa, and then kind of readjusting, you bring out the energy of the second and fire this one off with rather more accuracy, slamming into the side of the skeletal moose.
That's max damage.
That was nice. That
So-
was a big hit.
Yeah, that's her turn.
Alright, then it is the other polar bear, which is going to continue wrestling the other polar bear.
No,
Because that's just how we do things around here. And you hit with both of those. So the northernmost polar bear seems to get off a round of very solid hits. First of all, the claws rake deeply into the southernmost polar bear, and actually while the claws are embedded into the thick flesh of this polar bear, pulls it closer and then manages to just latch its jaw around the neck of the other polar bear. Irilyssa.
So, for my action, I'm going to move the moonbeam to get that guy too.
Okay.
And then, bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step here.
Nice.
And she's gone.
and she's gone.
That's my turn.
Okie dokie.
Actually, hang on. Did I see which of the polar bears all of these guys are pin cushioning?
Yes, the northern one.
The northern one. Okay. Alright, thank you.
Vulwin.
I just saw this big skeletal horned thing charge at Irilyssa. I'm on the ground, so I got to get up. First. So
True.
lose half movement, I think, for getting up.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna move over here with my movement. As I'm moving, I'm gonna put my my sword away and grab my bow and try to fire at it because I'm not gonna be able to get close to that thing.
Go for it.
It's longbow, and I'm gonna try it again with a bonus action. Hunter's Mark. We'll see if it lasts this time.
Okay. Hunter's marked.
All right. Longbow time. 24 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
All right. Has it taken any damage?
Yes.
I don't. It has. Okay. So it takes 6 points of damage from the initial one and 5 from the mark and Colossus. Yep. I'm gonna actually go ahead and re-roll that attack for the base attack just for the piercer trait.
Okay.
It is piercing. Ignore the rest of the numbers. It's a 10 instead, so it's 15 altogether. And then a second attack.
18 hits.
Okay, Hunter's Mark and no Colossus there. For initial 10. But they're both piercing.
Okay. So you've loose one arrow into the creature, and before the first one even lands, you have the second one launched and in the air. First impact, second impact. It seems to do as much damage as you would expect, so it doesn't take less damage because it's piercing. And just like slams through and breaks a couple of the ribs before coming to a rest inside the rib cage and just kind of hangs there.
Okay, I'm done. Damn these things.
Alright, big boy is gonna have a walloping time.
He's gonna make a con save first.
Yes, he is. That would be a 17.
That's a pass, but he takes. Do you want me to re-roll the damage again?
Yeah, every round.
Okay, so it's 3d10. So 10 radiant damage.
Nice.
10 radiant damage. Okie dokie. Unlike the animal undead, radiant doesn't seem to do anything extra. And this one is going to strike at the
But it's still damage.
northern bear. And wow, really? So the first, I just rolled a 1 and a 2.
Wow.
Yep, literally that was just a 1 and then a 2. Brilliant. So the first great axe swing manages to actually cut deeply into the neck fur of the southern polar bear. He yanks it back, but balances completely off. He then brings down the axe in an overhead swipe and just buries it a couple of centimeters away from the polar bear, but without actually striking into it. Zagrax, you're up.
I'm gonna go bonk this moose.
Woo.
Bonk away.
I'm actually going to take a thing from Vulwin as well, and I'm actually gonna Hunter's Mark it on top of it. Woo!
Can you do 2?
Because I can do that.
Yeah, because the Hunter's Mark is technically just a unique mark that gets placed on the target.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I always see it, it's not so much that you're marking the target, it's you're getting insight into where critical strikes would be. Okay.
Help time. Oh, I almost clicked on the wrong thing. Bonk.
15 hits.
For a 6 bludgeoning. Well, I guess 4 is technically.
So your slamming blow hammers into it, and again you have that secondary as the second impact comes through. The first one you go through like one part of the ribs, then the kinetic force of the second impact takes you all the way through and you're clear of its body, just plowing a gap through it, and this definitely seems to have done more damage.
Nice. It also takes 4 more damage for Hunter's Mark.
Okie dokie. Still up though.
And then I bonk it again.
That's a hit.
Or 7.
And with that, you bring the warhammer above your head and then bring it down two-handed, square in the center of its skull, and you just plow this weapon through the skull, and then the secondary impact takes out a large part of the spine and the collarbones as well, and this thing just flops to the ground, various bones rolling off in various different directions.
Well, I don't think that's getting back up again.
And then, so that's
I
10,
sure as hell
15,
hope not.
20, 25, 30. Okay. Oh, there's stuff going on. Okay.
Then it is
Oh, man.
Polar Bear
Okay.
gonna strike at Polar Bear. I know,
You
shit.
don't say.
Wow.
That is a double hit.
Lair bear.
And this time the polar bear, hugging in close as it is, just wraps its own arms around it and just starts to squeeze against the polar bear that's just got his claws in it, and now brought closer like this as well, is able to free his neck from the jaws and then snap and take out a chunk of the cheek of the northern polar bear. Tahko is going to, I think, just go
I don't
5,
know.
10, 15,
I don't know what's going on.
25. 25 there. And that is going to leave. Let's go there. It's going to just climb over the downed saber-toothed tiger. Meanwhile, this tiger is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 and just bound over and hit one of the other skeleton boys. Which immediately just crunches through that one, much the same as he did through the first one. And with that, we are at the skeletons, who are going to continue
Skeleton.
launching arrows down.
The ground needs to be poncy.
Okay,
Oh, that one.
that would be an 11.
That's a fail. He takes 20 radiant damage.
And with that, he just seems to disintegrate before the luminosity, the luminous strength of the moonbeam just hovering over him. Those 3 arrows, one of them hits for damage, and then 1 close combat.
Oh, sorry.
So that's
How
what you're
did I
planning
even
to
do
do.
it? I was trying to do it. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it.
You're up.
Okay. Well, maybe I will do it then. I was trying to figure out what the range on it was, and I was like, heck it, there's this thing here. I'll fight that first.
The range is 150 feet.
Yeah, now I know what it is. First, I'm going to move up here next to Zagrax.
Oh, wow, thanks.
I need to stay safe. The next thing, because it's 150 feet, I wanted to throw this.
Before you do this, actually, Irilyssa, give me a perception check, because now you're on a decent vantage. You can see what's going on.
Okay.
Regular one this time.
A 9!
Chaos. Absolute freaking chaos.
Chaos.
Plus there's a giant skeleton in the way, which is kind of obscuring things a bit.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Elora.
We'll just have to let things suffer because of this. Yeah, that should be good. I want to throw some twigs on the ground, which will look like they're crawling all around and going this way. Oh, sorry. Wrong button, this way. But they'll end up here, and I'd like to make a spike growth in a 20 feet diameter from, like, this spot. Here.
How big is it? 20, did you say?
20.
Yeah. But it's 20 foot radius, so it's
Radius.
even bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I think that's right.
And then I'm going to give this
Bugs!
Yeah,
over
that's correct.
to
Bugs! Those are bugs!
It's fine, they're bugs. They could be bugs. I'm not picky.
It does say swarm, so up close it looks like spikes. But the choice is basically swarm, tangle, tentacles,
Whatever.
Hey.
or a web. There is no real spike.
Yeah. The idea is just to take out the annoying
What
undead.
would Tangle be it?
I'm fine with the bugs.
I wouldn't be surprised if they called it Tangle.
Ooh, shiny bugs. That's fun too.
Hang on, I'm not done. That didn't work.
I like knowing there's something cool happening up there that I can't see yet, and technically I won't know about.
I can kind of see it, but
Well,
It's not
sure.
not by
You don't. If you don't see it when it's placed, you're not aware of it. You can't tell it's there.
Right.
Yay, it's like growth.
Oh, the colour is changing.
Brighter.
We'll just go with that and just say that spikes. You should be in control of it, so you can place it where you want.
Okay. I'm not, but that's fine.
You're also
Oh wait, am
on
I?
a ruler.
No, I am. It's in the right spot about there. Yeah. Yeah. It's just on the edge of the polar bears.
Okay.
Yeah. And then basically, when a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
We'll use the one with the surround.
The circle. Yeah, that's correct. The transformation of the ground is camouflaged to look natural. Any creature that can't see the area at the time of the spell is cast must make a wisdom check against the spell DC to recognize the terrain as hazardous before entering.
Okay, and anyone that's in it, do they make a save now or on their turn?
On their turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there
So
anything
it
else?
sucks that I rolled really low, but it is what it is. I'm done.
Alright, Northern Polar Bear is going to bite you and finally grip the neck again, and this time just puncture a hole straight through it, ripping out a large chunk of it. It's then going to turn on the giant skeleton and rake it with its claws.
okay, okay.
Which hits. And gouges a large chunk out of, like, its hip bone. Irilyssa.
I'm going to use Sacred Flame on the big skelly boy.
Okay.
You need to make a DC 14 reflex save. Or dexterity save, sorry.
Big skelly boy, very good at dexterity. That's a 9.
He fails, so he takes 15 radiant damage.
Nice.
So you see
And
this.
then...
Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you see this luminant silver light starting to appear from within its ribcage, like where its heart would be, and then starting to burn the inside of the ribs from within.
And then I'm going to cast Healing Word on the alive polar bear.
Okay.
I heal it for 4.
Okay. And what is your word?
Heal!
Hey, what's up?
Heal!
But it's in an angry tone of voice, like whether they want to heal or not, they're freaking healing.
Yeah.
And
Stay
at your
alive.
command, the polar bear just sit backs on its haunches.
In past command.
Give me another perception check. Just normal one.
After you healed it, of course.
Six. I'm great at this.
Big skeleton in way, now with
Yeah.
glowing silver light inside of, obscuring
see it.
everything.
Can't see. Much wow.
Vulwin.
Okay, let's see. I'm gonna move up and see what's going on, because I can't from here. And there's some stuff going on. I'm gonna make it right about here, because that's 30. I see a big skeleton, and I'm gonna shoot the big skeleton from here. Bonus action, have that as the marked target instead. The other one's dead, so I can do that. And I'm gonna shoot it.
Go for it.
15.
That is a hit.
Hunter's mark. It is already taken damage, so get the Colossus Slayer. For 20 points of piercing damage.
20. Pow. So your arrow goes through the now slightly dissipating silvery fire that's in his ribcage, catches alight with the radiant intensity, and then just buries itself in the collarbone above.
I'll shoot again.
Go for it.
21.
That is a hit.
Hunter's mark. And a no Colossus Slayer for a 12 points of damage.
Nice.
12 points. So again, you get this second arrow out in the air almost as quickly as the first, and this one just embeds itself in one of its arm bones.
That's a good shot.
That's... Oh, I don't like that thing.
Anything else?
No, I'm done.
Alright, big boy.
Toss up some blood.
Save.
Multiple saves, because isn't he also in range of Tahko's?
That's a 17 con, so I think he saves that.
Man.
He is in range.
Oh!
He still takes 12 radiant damage.
Dang.
Good lord.
He's
He
definitely
saved,
starting
right?
to smolder a little at this point.
I'm assuming it's also a con save for the
Yeah, I'm just
aura.
double checking. It's either con or dex. Wisdom. You were wrong.
Yeah, it's wisdom.
Oh, we're all wrong.
That's actually a pretty good one. It's a good save.
Yeah.
What's your DC? Actually, I can say.
I think it's 14.
Yeah, I'm just imagining that Tahko's is probably the same. Yeah, 14. So that is a save. So it's half damage. Scroll. Scroll.
3d8.
3d8.
I love clerics.
Oh, really?
Halved because he did succeed the save. So that is a 8. No, yes. Still
Yeah.
standing, but looking very rough.
Oh,
Now it
good.
gets to attack though.
Rude.
Rude.
And one of its attacks does hit, embedding itself deeply into the shoulder of the northern polar bear. And with that, Zagrax, you're up.
Hooray! 5, 10, 15, 20. First I'm gonna bonus action move my hunter's mark onto it as well.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bonk it.
Bonk away.
25.
That's a hit.
That's a good bond.
4, 9.
How do you want to kill this thing?
Oh!
Nice. I don't know. Take out one of its knees so it falls and I can bash its skull in, probably.
Nice.
So you can just discull these things so they don't come back.
Okay, so you do a sideways swing to take out the knee, and immediately it comes lumbering down, struggling basically on its hip to try and regain purchase, but its legs just are not obeying it. And then with the back swing, you just crack it under the chin, as now it's close enough for you to actually strike, and with that, its head just rolls back completely, snapping away from the spine, and then just falling, staring up at you accusingly on the ground. And then the rest of his body just falls apart, the various ribs and bones just collapsing to the ground in this shower of various large bones, and then just start to roll away and eventually come into rest in the snow.
Well,
And
that
I'm going to
was.
say that
Let's see.
as the fight goes on, you're able to make fairly quick work of the skeletons remaining. The saber-toothed tiger that's at the top of the cliff bounds down, embedding both of its claws into the back of the polar bear, but the polar bear just reaches up, yanks the saber-toothed tiger onto the ground underneath it, and then just jumps on it with all 4 of its limbs, and then punching through again, taking out the neck with its jaws. The rest of you firing various arrows, bolts, radiant flames, eldritch blasts at the skeleton shooting down from the cliffside. Eventually take all of those out. Are any of you attacking the polar bear that still remains?
Unless it attacks me first. Nope.
It makes no
It's
aggressive
ignoring
move
us,
towards
so
any of you. And now that you're having a chance to look a bit closer at what's happening up here, it is clear that all the little animal creatures have been attacking it. And it's been fighting back, unlike the undead animals not attacking the other animals, but this one they were attacking. And eventually, it's the only one standing, still growling and snapping around it, expecting more attackers. And its eyes fall on Tahko. And as they do, the snout starts to recede. The shoulders become taller, prouder. It moves back onto just its hind legs. The whole form, as it does, shrinking. The fur pulling back into just creating a very, very hairy creature. And the one strand of black that was in the hair of the otherwise pale white, snow white hair, you see Swift Runner. Tahko, you finally made it! And that is where we're going to end for today.
All right.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay.
Yay!
Great, man. Does she look any worse for wear?
Oh,
By
she
the
looks
way-
pretty beaten up.
Okay.
Less than you would expect. Much less than you would expect, considering what she was just up against. She lost a grand total of 25 hit points.
Wow.
What? That's it?
Those- Yeah, those skeletal archers were doing some crazy damage. You gotta beware of those guys.
Well, I guess technically this giant missed that one round, but it did get a good hit in.
Oh, Goliath werebear, nice.
But
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion either that skeleton rolled really well onto attacks or crit that saber tooth. Oh.
Yeah. Well, the saber-tooth I attacked, that was just for cinematic fun, but the polar bear, man, she just dismantled him.
Yeah. Wow.
I think the most
Good for
impressive
Swift
was
Runner.
the giant one-shot in the saber-tooth. Those guys have 50 hit points, just for reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's spooky. I was like,
That's spooky.
don't mind me, the tank just not taking any damage again.
Right.
Hey, I
yeah,
tried. I
was
attacked
like,
you with the moves.
It's like the thing you're best at.
Yeah.
wanna be- No, go ahead.
Apparently my positioning's poor with tanky boy not doing tanky things. Sad.
You're good.
And with that,
Love
I've
having-
been trying to use spike growth last session. I finally had a reason to use it this time.
I mean, spike growth would have been pretty good for covering our retreat last
Yeah.
session too.
Yeah.
But by the time you probably were wanting to use it, it was just like, and cinematic, go.
Basically, yeah. I was like, we need to get far enough forward for it to matter.
Yeah, it's like, where do you toss the spike growth to make it most effective when they're coming from all directions? It's like,
Yeah.
no.
Have the bottom just like near the bridge, so they have to go into
Yeah.
it, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Wild note for you and me would be you doing spike growth and then me turning the undead, so they'd have to
I
run
wanted
away.
to do
Mhm,
that,
mhm,
but I was
mhm.
like, no, I think you got it with this giant
Well, turn
skelly
undead
man.
works until they take damage, right? Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, arguably, it would be turn undead, they run away, then you spike growth. So by the
Yes.
time they have to get back, then they have to go through the spike growth.
See,
Yeah.
that's the cool thing about spike growth is if you do toss it down like at your own feet, as long as you don't move, you don't take damage.
Mhm.
hmm
But if you get moved, you take damage. Well,
Then I just call it off.
it's no good.
Yeah. No kidding, Macho. Spike growth with Tahko and Irilyssa's circle, you just be a fortress anywhere for about 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
and yeah, I am reading chat again now, so if you have any questions for us, now's your chance.
Yay, family.
Yay! Swift Runner didn't die.
Woo!
I
Didn't
was
even come
expecting that
close.
to be way freaking harder for her, but just wasn't.
Yeah.
She's
She's
just
a
that
boss.
cool.
Also, every turn I attacked, I killed something.
Yeah, you guys were just a machine of destruction today.
They really were.
Right?
You guys were so
And-
good.
And
Even the
Tahko
rocks
didn't even
suffered.
attack anything.
True. I mean, the feathers were probably more effective against the little creatures which weren't
Yeah.
even on the map. That was basically his job. Yeah, I probably should have added them just for the visual effect of seeing that there are lots of these little guys too, but also it kind of clutters.
Mm-hmm.
Still, it's nice to know they're there.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. And you mentioned it, so I was like, I could still imagine it.
It's
Oh.
one of those. I have a feeling that it was just they're so small and stuff. Like you're just running
Yeah.
to wherever, and you just kind of like step on a squirrel
Yeah.
and step on a mouse, and you're like, whatever. Not even working out. Not even paying
just
attention.
run past and kick
Yeah.
them.
I mean, we saw that last week where you killed probably about 30 of them, and I think they did a grand total of 1 damage.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
Soon, Dutty.
Yeah. Soon, TM. Yep.
Yeah, it's in the
Great
plans. We're thinking.
Yeah, I got permission to just get them, so I'm gonna do that.
Send it.
It'll be fun.
Well, that was wild.
Yeah,
this
that
whole
was
thing's
pretty
just
fun.
wild.
Yeah, I
There's a
wasn't
lot of
expecting
things going on.
any of it.
Bro, this last month and a half has been wild. From the politics of figuring out the new head speaker to airship to freaking undead hordes to whatever
Alien
the frick happened
technology.
today. Alien technology. 3 months. The last 3 months have
Yeah.
been
It
wild.
never gets normal.
I've been thinking about this for a while too, from way back, like when we first avoided going to the Lonely Wood. I'm like, when we get here eventually, this is gonna be an interesting homecoming. Like, it's gonna be fun.
It's funny, you have no idea just how far off book we are right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I can imagine.
because the White Moose has something like 18 hit points, because you're supposed to get him at level 1 or 2.
Are
And
you
you're here at
kidding?
level 5.
We could have like sneezed and it would have been melted into a puddle.
Yeah.
So I've been doing what I can to try and keep this more interesting and keep it narratively going. Also, I feel like you're far enough through this now where this revelation won't matter. This whole undead situation arose from me misreading like one of the rules. These are supposed to be awakened animals, which means they're semi-sentient, not undead.
Oh,
Whoops.
Hey, I could have talked with these.
But I decided, you know what, I'm just going to roll with it. It's fine.
Oh,
The
that's
undead theme
great.
worked, so...
Yeah.
Well, all it means is that even further on down the path of if we ever play this again, it's just more stuff that's different if we
Yeah.
play it again.
Yeah, this is very different. This would be pretty much unrecognizable compared to Lonely Wood ordinarily. It's just like
Reading.
the big bad's the same and that's it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, that's great.
it's all good though.
I
Well,
love
that-
having Misty Step in my arsenal. It is
it's
Yeah.
such a good
very
spell.
nice.
Right.
I would have died. I legitimately would have died without Misty Step.
Yeah.
Like when Tahko and I were drowning, 100%. I got lucky on that strength check to get where I could see and Misty Step. And otherwise, Zagrax would be dead long ago, and we'd been running at a different character.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about that would be if that happened, be like, so, do we have to go down there anymore? Like,
Oh, of course, you're on your way to Hillside, yeah. Ah,
yeah, it was like, so maybe we don't.
Right. Man.
That would have been rough.
Yeah. Campaign's spooky. I love it.
And now we've got the walk on water or whatever that we're just like, and okay, we can just cross no problem now.
Really want to mitigate that fear. Yeah.
If I was doing this,
Yeah.
I would have cold resistance fire damage. Something to light things so I could see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I thought about, like, oh, it would be so nice to have, like, a fire genasi or, like, one of those fire sorcerers, but I was like, but why would they be there?
Yeah.
Same reasons the Red
So-
Dragonborn, and you have seen him suffer.
It's true, and he's not happy, so it's like, nah,
Yeah.
I'll make somebody who's used to the cold at least.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of funny because I still had an idea of like a fire druid would have been really fun.
Yeah.
I'm like, just because
Wildfire
it's
druid?
winter up, just because it's winter up here, I'm like, well, they would have normal winters. A fire druid during that time would be like, cool, I can go light fires everywhere and make things warm. But like, this would suck for them in like 3 years of cold winter. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
I still feel kind of bad about when we were talking about what character you would play, Vulwin, because you were talking about a druid with a swarm. I was like, why would there be
Oh, yeah, it
swarms up
was.
here? There's no bees or anything. I just hadn't read about good mead yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was totally viable. Aww.
Yeah, there was outside of like druid of the swarms, there was also some ranger swarm related classes, and we kind of looked at those and talked about them. I was like, well, no, they don't really fit. And then come to find out, good mead.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
And not the fact that we've even been like amazing at saving good mead, so it almost would work. It's like, it's okay.
But I like Vulwin, so I think
Yeah,
it's
me
good.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of our characters, I think he'll be very sad if anything
Yep.
happens to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've been through
At this
so
point.
much by this point, so yeah.
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 Well, that's what, again, Zagrax was the first character I ever actually made for D&D.
Yeah.
It's so nice that you're getting to play them.
Yeah. Any party needs a cannibal. True.
What?
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 You're talking
No.
about the slander.
I haven't eaten no dragon.
Slander.
You can't prove it.
Whoa.
I'm not sure they're talking about you.
Oh.
Oh. Ugh.
Now, plus, back on that comment of things you would like to have, our party, as if you can't tell by now, doesn't metagame unless it's like, we're about to die, so we're going to metagame the crap out of this to try and not die, right?
It's
And
true.
it's not like
we
so
don't
far.
meta game then
No.
either. We just use
Even
all of our
then,
stuff
so-
effectively.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but even then, like, where it's more about the way the characters would actually be than what's the most the best course of action at that
Right.
point in time.
Like Tahko challenging the Goliath at level 1. Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
Good times that.
yeah,
If I was in his shoes, I would have done it too.
yeah.
And then,
it's so
performing
much-
surgery on Irilyssa.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
that's why it's so
yeah.
much fun playing like more chaotic characters. That's like this is like an own mood killer feels like that. It's like,
Yeah.
damn, I want to play that. It's so fun when you
Right.
get the chance.
I mean, to be fair, Matt Joe, everybody but one in our party has cold resistance. So
And now she does.
Now she does.
Yeah.
Because they gave
Now
her my
she-
boots.
the boots have cold resistance. So our entire party has cold resistance, which is arguably the number one thing to have in this campaign.
Damn it!
Honestly, that cold resistance has been integral.
Oh yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the fact that there was some 40 damage ice blast that might have happened, and it's like, oh, fail the save. It's like, well, still take half damage. So it's like, that's nice. Yeah.
That's kind of what sparked Irilyssa giving the boots to Elora. Just
It's
inside
helpful.
my head was like, that hurt me. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, she doesn't have any.
You look over, Elora's just like,
She's an ice cube.
Yeah.
It'll help
No.
for sure.
No,
like, "Here,
no.
these
We don't
booties."
we don't need more avalanches. No.
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 I mean, one thing I do feel like I could probably have done more of would be blizzards, but I feel like they're interspersed enough that they're always interesting when they do occur.
Yeah.
But like the
Like-
rules as written encourages more blizzards.
Yeah, but I feel like it's
Makes
one
sense.
yeah. The way that you've done it, yeah.
I like that they're more thematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of just assume it's always snowing a little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And even if it's not
So-
snowing, there's still windy enough that like snow's being pushed around.
Yeah.
Yep.
hmm
blown
Little
around.
snowdrifts.
hmm
I hadn't even decided whether I was going to do the blue light creatures until I basically started to like, you know what, this is going to be a good tie into everything else. Blue light creature time.
And we're just,
Oh,
and all of us are probably sitting there, at least I was, I'm like, oh, come on. Now we're going to have to, well, we can't just like run away and hide because we've got a village here. And
Yeah,
then
that
like,
was-
okay, here we go. Time to die.
Yeah, it was intriguing because like, is this when it actually gets sort of like revealed what it is, or like what it is? You know, because it's like and it's like nope, still not.
Nope. Yoink!
Yoink.
Yeah,
Yeah, for real.
it's possible. I think we've even theorized that with the blue mist. Was it actually blue mist? Was it blue lights? Who knows?
I don't know.
Because we have an unreliable narrator in Tahko,
Yeah.
not really being able to tell us, stories about what's gone on from what he's heard. So at least we got Zagrax.
Yeah, it's too bad he was the only one there.
Oh well,
Say, I don't think
Okay.
I've been doing a whole lot better, but it's not like we know much, not much more
Yeah.
than what came out of it anyway. And we tried, and we tried, and the rolls were bad, and the guy just shut down. We're like, okay, I guess that's all we get now.
Yeah. Yep,
Right.
that's how it happens.
Plus, they were more than a little bit overwhelmed by the whole thing having happened. Like, suffering some serious PTSD at that point.
Also,
Yeah, you don't
looking at
want to talk
races,
about it.
there's like 2 races that don't get dark vision, or 3 that don't get
Yeah.
dark vision just inherently. Human,
which one are
dragonborn,
they?
dwarf.
Dwarf
Oh,
does.
really?
No, dwarfs
Dwarf does.
have
Of
dark
the
vision.
original ones, sorry. Not the
Oh,
not
No.
the all the extended ones, but
I was
oh,
gonna
no,
say, you
sorry,
wanna
not
add
dwarf.
Furball to
Dragonborn,
that?
human,
Halfling.
and halfling. Sorry.
Halflings, yeah. They have
The
low
surprise-
vision, low
The
light.
surprising one is gnomes get it. I don't really understand
Yes.
why, but
Yeah.
they do.
Like it makes sense for like the Underdark variant, but I don't really know.
I mean,
Normal.
dragonborn are dragons. Like, don't dragons have really good eyesight at night? Like, thematically, arguably, that would make more sense than half of these.
Well, I think the reason for the gnomes is because they're using, I think, Slavic gnomes, which were underground. Like, if you go to the salt mines in Czech Republic and Slovakia, the miners believed that the gnomes were spirits, so they would leave statues of gnomes in like little nooks and crannies, so that the gnomes were looking over them rather than trying to kill them.
Gotcha.
It's actually pretty good. Like the quality of the statuary in these random mines is really good. Like the last thing you would expect to see in these mines is statues, and yet there they are. There's an entire cathedral in one of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
Neat.
down to the fact that they've carved like tiles in the floor. They're not actually tiles, they've just carved the outlines to make it look like tiles.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So Zep started a mine in Eastern Europe using poor miners.
Yeah.
That's why they're
Wait.
called rock gnomes. There's rock gnomes and forest gnomes. The forest gnomes wouldn't have dark vision, I don't think. The rock gnomes, yeah, probably would. But I think that should be a subrace feature as opposed to a racial feature.
Yeah.
So then you've also got the Sverfneblin, which are the underdark gnomes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Sverfneblin. They're like
Niblin.
gem gnomes.
Yeah.
Obsessed with
Honestly,
finding
the
gems.
spelling of it is really fun.
That's why I'm trying to.
SVIRFNEBLIN.
Oh, there it is. Snurf
Yeah.
Niblin. Okay.
Yeah.
They're very silly.
Gem gnomes.
Gem
or
gnomes.
kobolds. Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
A gem gnome so a cobalt. That's great.
So kobolds, kinda.
Ish.
But yeah, of the whole story branch that you're on at the moment about Lonelywood, this is actually the first encounter I made. And then after that, I was like, I need to have a bit more context why the undead are here, and that's where last week's came from.
Right.
Nice.
One of the funniest things, the Dragonborn don't have dark vision, but kobolds do.
It's because
Yep.
Dragonborn don't technically live underground, whereas dragons and kobolds
Right,
do.
you're right.
Yeah, but it's like they have the ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
It depends. There's a
Yeah, but that ancestry is
ancestry that
pretty
you
far
take.
away.
Actually, if there's one race that really doesn't deserve night vision, elves. Why the hell do elves have it? They live in a
Yeah.
goddamn
They can
forest.
see everything.
We can see everything. I don't know why.
Also, apparently, there's
Accustomed to
there's
violet
no
forest.
there's some stuff in it. Apparently, there's a it says Dragonborn traits, and that's what it has it under, but I don't know what. Raven Eye
Oh, right.
uses the Dragonborn traits in the player handbook. Oh, is it just
Yeah,
like
that's the.
instead of choosing your thing, you just
Yeah, I think you can choose custom traits as opposed. You basically switch out a trait for one of those.
oh,
Or
yep, yep,
maybe
yep.
feats.
Okay,
There are
'cause
also racial feats.
guess what? Both of
Yeah.
the other specific traits for like specific Dragonborn lineages have dark vision. Wow, surprising.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Mm.
betting elves have dark vision because they don't really sleep. They just meditate, so they evolve to have vision at night.
But why would they need
But-
it? They can.
Ooh.
They're under the stars and the moon and stuff.
They have
I
dark
don't know.
vision and keen senses.
Well, dark vision's you'd think they might have dim light vision, but dark vision kind of
Yeah.
covers that.
All right, so they
Yeah.
have advantage in perception.
then
in
half
dark
elves
areas,
get
not
dark
full
vision.
dark vision.
Right. Shrug. I don't know.
They're
Freaking
elves.
They're
That's the
elves, they
thing.
have
They're
everything.
elves, therefore they're superhuman, and they can do everything that humans can do, only better, with absolutely no
Ooh.
downsides. Like freaking
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah, they honestly
Ah.
got all of those traits and everything so that we could be complaining about it. It's like, why do they get them?
That's why I like the Eldar from Warhammer.
Oh yeah.
They're the greatest thing ever. And then they brought about the birth of a new freaking chaos god and killed most of their species in doing so. Nice.
Oops.
Just a little oops.
Oopsies.
Small oopsies.
I think that's why if I was going to rewrite elves, I'd just make them to be basically more magic attuned humans. Give them some magical abilities that they can do innately, but take away things like the keen perception and the dark vision.
Yeah, I like that they have the Fey ancestry thing.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
some of the other stuff is a bit much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable because, how much, if they live for a really long time, I mean, you just can get skills, right?
So here's the thing. They live for a really long time, so their eyesight's had a really long time to deteriorate.
True. True.
That's the
Not
thing.
wrong.
That does happen. It deteriorates, and then they can't see anyway. When they're
You're
too old.
gonna get that excuse about elves like a fine wine. They just as they age, they just get better.
Elves
Yeah.
should be to humans what kobolds are to dragonborn sub-beings.
Wow.
Oh,
Seems
think
like
elves are that
Metro
bad.
agrees with your dwarf supremacy.
Still doesn't take away their dark vision because the kobolds have it and the
Yeah,
Dragonborn don't.
arguably it gives them more of a reason to have dark vision.
so you're saying we can just replace elves with kobolds? And
Yeah.
there we go.
Yes. Actually,
We can-
yes.
We can replace elves with kobolds and we can replace gnomes with kobolds.
It's worth never.
Every race
Regular
just
gnomes
replaced
are
with
different.
kobolds.
Oh,
All
Snurf
kobolds.
Devlin, yes. Sorry. Everything is a kobold.
The Swerf Niblin have some really interesting abilities, like they can teleport between gem geodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Small.
cool.
Hmm.
So as long as they know it exists, they can just teleport immediately between them.
They're super cool.
Crips, had we started this later, would you have been a rabbit folk?
Probably not. I don't know. I was kind of. I don't think I would have made a. I wanted to make a warlock no matter what, and I don't think I would have picked a rabbit folk to be a warlock. I probably would have picked them to be like a rogue fighter.
Honestly, the owl one was pretty cool that they added.
Mm-hmm. The Strix?
Owl
Oh,
folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, like owl folk. It's not actually like an official one just yet. It's in what, Arcana?
Yeah.
Anyway, chat, do you have any further questions for us? Otherwise, we will draw this to a close, I think.
Kobolds are secretly the masters of the universe. God help us all.
Kobolds and hobgoblins, the most underrated races in D&D.
Oh yeah, hobgoblins are great.
Are there
Yeah, I was
any
gonna
more
say
cookies?
Cookies.
Yeah.
Depends
The
if you survive.
hobgoblins in our last campaign were freaking actually kind of scary, just with their roaming
Oh, they were
mercenary
awesome.
band.
Yeah.
This is why I say,
style.
like, hobgoblins should absolutely be up there with the civilized races. Like, of any of the quote-unquote monstrous races, they're way more civilized than, say, orcs are.
Mhm.
In the fact
Yeah.
that they're actually capable of organization on a governmental level.
Yeah. They might not want to listen to like anybody else, but at least they're doing something.
You know, just be really isolationist.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with
No,
the
that's fine.
hobgoblins, they're super about superiority, but that's just the same as elves.
Meh.
Yeah, exactly.
Kobolds can live up to 120 years.
Yeah, like that's
Can.
happening.
They can.
Can.
Oh, but rarely
I
do
mean,
so.
honestly,
But will
who
they?
knows who knows how old the one that Tahko almost stepped on was? Who knows, right? You can just
Adulthood
get
at
stepped
age
on and it's
6.
over.
They're so silly.
Anyway, we're going to call this one here. So thank you, everyone, for watching. I really do hope you've enjoyed this. If you're joining us for the first time and haven't done so yet, then please do consider hitting that follow button so you get notifications when we're live again in the future. If you've really enjoyed this and you want to support the channel and everything that we are doing here, then please do consider subscribing. It does help the channel out tremendously. And if you want to see more of this type of thing, well, you can find our old episodes over on my YouTube. So that's at youtube.com/MordredViking. Otherwise, we should be back again next week, hopefully with our Highwind this time. Do we know if he's still going to be travelling?
He should be back.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We'll-
hopefully
Maybe
We'll figure it
actually,
out.
maybe.
we'll work something out. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We will catch you all next time. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.